So, welcome guys and girls to the first and only live recording where all three of us are together to talk some absolute shit. Bros with Brains, we'll call this episode 1.
Episode 1?
Episode 1 of
Yeah, I
being
like that.
together.
Episode 1 of 1.
Yeah, one of one.
Limited editions, exclusive.
Being live together.
All
Ben
in the same
decided to
state.
join us from Queensland. He managed to get out of Queensland, or more so, Queensland kicked him out. So
I'm just not going
Do you
back.
expect to be able to go back? Is that the question?
That would be lovely. That would be nice.
I don't
They
think you're gonna be able to
changed
go
rules. They changed rules apparently today.
Yeah.
There's no inspections on the way through. So
yeah, like
back.
1
We
a.m.
might just keep you down here for a bit longer.
Why not?
You know,
Why not?
It's been
I've
fun
seen
so
some real
far.
training
So.
done. It's been good.
You've done some real training.
Yeah,
2 real
yeah,
sessions. It's been
yeah.
good
2
fun.
real sessions. That's I'm done. That's my bodybuilding career over.
Made.
I've made it.
So
Yeah.
I was sort of trying to tell him, like, I feel like the sessions that we've just done are pretty tame compared to what we were doing.
Yeah.
Now, like, I
Well,
feel
I'm
like-
also pretty tired.
Yeah, I was
so-
gonna say, I feel like you're cooked. We're coming back from holidays.
Yeah. I'm like week 4. I'm ready to deal with
Yeah,
it.
like
I'm
November
fucking
were
absolutely
some brutal training sessions. Like we
Yeah.
had some brutal ones. It was fucked.
We're really pushing the envelope on those. It was good fun.
Yeah, like just at the start of your prep, or like just
Yeah.
back end.
It was like your back end off
off-season.
season, like
Back-
just
yeah.
coming
How
into the
fun is that?
initial
Yeah.
start of prep. It's like strength's all time high,
Yeah.
like food's high.
You're
and-
motivated by like now
Yeah.
to now prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we were pushing. Like that was good times. Basically, we're just saying you're a bitch.
Look, I'm still recovering. All right,
How's Melbourne? Good times.
man. Melbourne's
How have
been
you
good.
found it? What have been your highlights so far and your lowlights?
We haven't really gone very far. Like it's
Highlights are a kami.
yes, highlights were food. That place was phenomenal. Apparently, it's Scafi's go-to seduction restaurant.
100%.
We've all been there with
You
him.
know.
Yeah,
What,
you've all
if you-
been there.
I know now that if you get taken there, you've got to put out later on, so that's fine. But all you can eat Japanese is fantastic.
Mate, for $36, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you get your days
How many
food in
how many
there.
rounds did you do?
We do 3.
Yeah.
We did 3 and a little bit of ice cream at the end as well. It was just enough, you know. It was just
I
enough.
love that
like-
we always just steer this in the direction of food. Straight.
Yeah, well, like it's all the eating disorders, you know. All our tainted eating behaviours.
Well, you've been a Huckster Burger as well.
Oh, yeah,
What did you think of Hucksterberg? Because they loved it, but I didn't rate Hucksterberg. I didn't like it that much.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't like
When we went to
Hucksterberg.
you hated it. You were
I
like,
didn't hate
"Nah,
it. I just
you-"
thought I just didn't think it was as good as
I
what
feel like-
I
It
thought it was
reminded
gonna
me
be.
of kind of like a Betty's Burgers. It was like it was like that. It was kind of like
Oop, we got interruptions here. Dave's a very popular man.
Dave's a popular man,
If you know, that's all right.
extremely gracious host.
You just-
Hey, I was just wondering if you had a small screwdriver I could borrow.
It's all right, bro.
and just like that.
You couldn't
Chris-
script that.
Yeah.
No, this is great. Keep
Chris
it
whipped out his
in.
penis.
You could not script that.
You told me this wasn't in the scenario. I made so many like casting couch jokes before.
That's
are
a
these
hell of a
stains, man?
casting couch.
That is.
We
the
need
ultimate
an
casting.
ultraviolet light.
Yeah, dude. Only better thing that would have been like, do you have any sugar?
That's the ultimate. That's like the
Yeah.
ultimate casting couch
Yeah.
moment. Do you have a small screwdriver?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it depends what you mean by screwdriver.
Yeah.
Can you come
If you
fix
mean
my?
by
Can you come
extremely
fix
small
my
penis, then
pipes?
yes, you're in luck.
Dave's gonna have to edit this out, but it's some
Leave that
gold
No,
content.
dude, leave that in. That's
Absolute
we
gold.
don't cut our footage.
Yeah, we're paying
This is what raw means.
We're one and done. One take.
yeah, one day, none of this
One
repeat
pump and
shit.
done.
one and done.
One pump and done.
Yeah, but,
I
yeah,
actually got
training-
some good weather on this coming to Melbourne. Usually,
Yeah, I
most
haven't
people that come
expected. I
down-
didn't come here
Dude, yesterday when we
expecting
trained legs was pretty fucked, but today was great.
Yeah.
It's like what, 25, 23?
this. It was actually pretty
beautiful.
nice, and it was like almost cool. Like,
Yeah.
didn't sweat as hard. Mind you, I was wearing the jersey yesterday, but it just wasn't as heavy.
Dude, I told you not to
feeling.
wear the jersey. It was a big mistake.
Yeah, but I wanted to impress you.
It was
cool.
impressive.
It felt cool.
Yeah, it was
there.
impressive. Was it a Dallas Cowboys or Denver Broncos jersey?
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
No one wants to own the Denver Broncos.
No one wants to have the Denver Broncos. Marge does, but not everyone.
Denver Bronco.
The Denver Broncos. But no,
Oh, how did those the cookies go at one gym? Did you eat them yet, or
No,
No,
You're
I
save-
save
you're
tonight.
saving them.
Save them tonight.
Saving them.
Yeah, just relax with my feet up. Like I was saying the other night, I just like my food just to relax.
yeah?
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
true.
like we
The last-
spent about an hour on
Yeah,
last
like we
week.
talking an hour on the conversation.
It's all about the way you approach the food.
Exactly.
You can't just get it and eat the cookie straight away.
Just
You
like you
need
gotta be in the
to
mindset of
kick
your
the feet
training,
up.
you got to be in like the mindset of how you're gonna eat your food.
Yeah, especially if
Just
it's
feel it.
like it's good food like that.
Yeah,
Like
like we have some nice cookies.
They look good. I actually haven't tried those yet because
Yeah, I
I've
haven't
been
had one
prepped
from
the
the
whole
gym.
time. That
Yeah, well, since when they brought them into the
Yeah.
gym, you were.
I'll tell you they
started
suck.
I was
Either way.
interested. I was
yeah.
interested.
I mean, they look good.
Yeah, that's what I mean though.
Mate, it's the
They
appeal.
look
That's it,
good,
yeah.
but they don't taste.
That's what we're gonna find out. That's what we're gonna
fantastic.
find
We'll
out. She
Yeah.
said throw it in the microwave, so we're gonna do that.
Yeah. You got to put it in there for 20 seconds. Don't put it
Yeah,
in there too long.
yeah, not 30, just 20.
Just
No,
But
it'll be too hot
gym,
otherwise.
one gym in general though is fucking phenomenal. It was a really, really good gym.
Man, it's only going to get better too. Like the amount of equipment that Mike's got coming is it's going to be awesome once it's like
I
fully
feel like
kitted
there's
out.
too many franchise gyms where the layout and the model design is all exactly the same, and they won't diversify their machinery. It has to be like, this contract from X supplier or this machine developer, whereas like that place is just like, he's designing it for people to come bodybuild.
Like he's just picking pieces he wants
Yes.
that he would want as a
Yeah,
bodybuilder.
yeah.
It helps being a good bodybuilder.
gigantic
well,
bodybuilder,
It's
yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought a bodybuilder picking the equipment for his own gym would make logical sense?
Yeah, that's when you see the people who are like I know a couple of people who sort of like invested and own in any times, and you can tell the difference in the facilities where it's owned by someone who's just business orientated and someone who's there to watch, like who wants to train.
Yeah.
And the equipment selection's like is going to be good or shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And one gym is like, like it's in Queensland, we just don't really have any one-off novel gyms except kind of like Strength Century, but at the same time, like there's a lot of changes I would make to their exercise equipment. Obviously, that comes with funding and money, whatever, like their thing. But Mike's like, you can tell he's made the intent to select the equipment best for him.
It's
He
for the
also-
boys.
Yeah, it's for the boys.
Yeah, it's for the boys, but it's going to be like the mecca of Victoria.
Yeah.
Going bodybuilders come. It's just like
Yeah, you can see it. Like
Yeah.
even when me and Az first, because we were like one of the first like members to sign up there.
Yeah.
Like the amount that it's exploded since even in the last like 3 or 4 months
Yeah.
since it's been open, it's just like it's probably going to be double that in the next couple of
yeah.
months.
Well, when we
know?
first went there was what, like maybe 15
Yeah,
pieces
next
max.
15 pieces, but also like 15 people.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And now there's
Yeah,
like
wow.
25, 30 pieces, and there's
Yeah.
going to be like 50, 60 pieces in total. So it's going to be insane.
That'd
Can't
be
wait.
a good training environment, like I was saying in the session today.
How did that training environment, I suppose, coming down here and training with us, compare to your normal training environment back up in Brizzy? You train by yourself up in Brisbane?
Yeah, mostly like because me and Tom, I'll train with Tom every now and then. He's another client of Dalt's during certain parts of the season. We'll do some sessions together. Some of our programs have actually lined up pretty well. Some of them kind of been like he's got specificity he needs, I've got different. And so like you can push yourself so hard when you train by yourself, and I usually do train pretty decently. But there's just like that next like, knowing that someone else is there watching you, so you can't be a bitch out and you can't like let everyone else down that they're training hard, so you just can't be a pussy. And that's really what it comes down to.
Don't
is
let
like,
the boys down.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm not coming
You're
down.
doing
I'm
it
not
for
coming
the-
down to bitch out.
Doing it for
so
the
like, yeah. So that just that mindset alone, and then being in a gym like Mike's, and then people like Mike are there that like fuck, do I look like a bitch for this guy too? So it's
Yeah.
like as hard as you want to train, then you got everyone around you training hard, and you got an environment that's just allowing you to train hard. Whereas like where I'm at the moment, it's kind of become a nonchalance. Like you're there to hang out as well as train.
Yeah.
And the term train is being used very subjectively there for most of the guys that are there. It's just really just a hangout spot. And it kind of just takes away from my training. When I just see other people around me, it just starts to agitate me. Whereas like coming down here, we're just all kicking ass and smashing the weights. And it's like, fucking sweet, let's do it. No one cares
Like,
if you're
even when
loud.
we're in session, like we just forget to film because we're just in the session.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're saying we're the worst online coaches because we never actually film our sessions. We'll record one set every now and then and like post it, but we never.
And
put
we
it in
did
our
good for
stories.
like 1 week.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
we
it
were
was
killing
just-
it. We were killing it.
And we just felt the way.
So much of the
exercise-
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like every exercise was great. Every set we got recording, and then that was it.
Instagram's like, yes, these guys consistent. I love it.
Yeah.
And then it just
All
stops.
for the algorithm.
And then it just stops. The algorithm's like, fuck you
I'm
guys.
gonna just repost old training footage on our stories just to make
You
it.
guys are really repeating the same cycles in your programming, aren't you?
You're wearing the same clothes, it's the same weight. You're saying the same shit. Like, yeah, that's because we're consistent.
Mundane stuff. It's not sexy. Just repeat. Just repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
Anything you want to do while you're in Melbourne?
I
Probably
mean,
should have asked you that before you came down to Melbourne, but whatever.
yeah, we honestly prepared this terribly.
Yeah.
But
Literally.
I think when we were talking before, it's like we have 4 hobbies.
Yeah, literally
So
shit.
it's like, what else could you want to do?
Uni's off right now, so I can't study. I'm not studying anything. I'm down here to train and then eat food. So
We're doing
You need a
Cool.
4th one. What's the
Yeah,
4th one?
Yeah, it's like we're doing that. I don't know what more you want.
the podcast, yeah. I've got some client
Yeah,
work to do
in
later
person
on.
podcast,
Yeah.
and you got to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, I got to
Work's
do
the
some
4th
work.
one.
I'm down here, so
Yeah, so
we're set.
Work is
yeah,
a
right. So
genuine
you're
hobby.
doing literally what you do at home.
Yeah,
sitting
pretty
on a
much. It was
stage.
like I knew that coming down here was going to be no really different, except like it was just
Then maybe some more exciting food.
yeah, some more exciting
Yeah.
food,
Some
apparent-
new food.
apparently better coffee and
100%.
a better gym.
Have you Can you confirm that there's better coffee?
It definitely had a different taste to the Queensland.
Where
brews.
did you?
Well, I was gonna say you've only had iced coffee so far.
Yeah, that's fair.
We can turn this whole podcast episode into coffee if you really want to go there. I am Melburnian and I will fight for coffee.
The coffee is very good now.
Look, at the end of the day, you know that meme. Yeah, you know what your guy's name does, like the 3 things I'm gonna tell you, and what's his name?
Which one?
Oh, he does the reels on Instagram.
Oh, Teddy. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did one on coffee, and it was like
Yeah.
the people do just black coffee. He's like, I know they got shit to do, and they don't care about flavor.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
me. I don't care. I don't care. Honestly,
I've only had
But
6
the thing is,
double
if you
espressos.
get a black coffee and it's done very, very well, so the beans that we get are from this specific coffee shop that we use
Yeah,
in
right.
our bougie espresso machine.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But if the coffee's good enough and the beans are good enough, you literally don't need anything else.
Yeah.
It'll just spoil the flavor.
That's like you know there's like there's basic white bitches on Instagram. They're like, I really love coffee, and it's like a triple shot
Before you
caramel, 3
It's
scoop
a
ice cream,
milkshake.
full cream milk, and it's like, yeah, that's not a coffee, that's a fucking milkshake.
Yeah, it's a
And
milkshake.
then like, the next photo is like, this is coffee, it's just a long black.
Pumpkin
Yeah,
spice
yeah,
Like,
latte.
yeah, you don't like coffee, you like
it's-
sugar.
It's like a small glass, half full, because it's a double espresso,
Yeah.
and it's just thick black
Yep.
coffee. That's coffee.
It's
If you
got-
like the taste of an espresso, you're a coffee connoisseur.
Yeah,
100%.
fair.
That's all I
Fair.
drink.
Because you can really taste the difference between different blends
Yeah.
and I think what's the
Oh.
one we get? It's like cream caramel. It has
Have
a
you done?
really
Have you
nice
done
finish.
Have you been to? Is it Bali where they do the different coffees? Is it Bali or Thailand?
I heard they did like a monkey shit one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a very specific. They ferment the shit. They give the monkey
bean,
a
it's
certain
the bean, yeah.
and their body, the way it digests it, then ferments it in the shit. They take it out and then ground it.
I'm sickened yet intrigued.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's not well, like I mean, it's like $100 Australian, and over there, that's like a week's worth of food, or like probably a month's worth of food. But it's like $100 Australian for a bag to bring home.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's worth it, but what you do is you go there and they lay it out in front of you, and you kind of have like they give you a platter palette creator, and so it's like each one complements the one before, and you're having
yeah,
a certain
yeah,
order,
yeah.
and it's just all different coffees and like beans that they've made.
It's almost like a degustation of coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was pretty good.
I'm aroused.
Yeah.
Just thinking about
And
it.
the last
Yeah.
one, the last one,
Yeah.
the last one they hit you with is the monkey shit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like
How do
every
they, how do
coffee
they
leading
phrase
up
it to
to
you?
that.
How are they like?
It's monkey poo coffee.
But you know that going into it, or they tell you?
Yeah,
after?
you're aware.
Dude,
Oh,
you're going there knowing you're gonna have monkey
Right, that's
shit
why
coffee,
you
bro.
go
It's
there.
kind of
yeah.
a known thing that when you're going there to this place.
It's not
oh,
like, guess what?
yeah.
Well, I've
Just
never
so
been
you
to
know,
Bali.
this one
and I
came
know
from a
about it.
monkey's
Right.
butthole.
Yeah. It's like, see that monkey over there taking
Yes.
a dump?
So
That's
this
your
is Charlie's.
coffee. That's your coffee
We've
coming
been
up in
feeding
10
it
minutes.
chili for a week.
It's fresh. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, no, you know. But I mean, yeah, like down here, it's been good.
That's the best thing you do when you find a good coffee here. You just go, you ask the actual, like, the person that's at where you're getting it from, what beans do you have? And then you go bulk buy the beans. 'Cause,
The good thing is a lot of places down here will actually sell beans as well.
yeah, they do
I have
now.
noticed that.
They do now.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
shops
well,
all seem to have like a particular purchase
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so good.
availability.
They
spread.
sell their house blend. It's great.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Besides, like the weather, surprisingly been good. The last probably couple of weeks in Brisbane has been absolute shithouse. So coming down here, I was expecting something similar. Being as Melbourne, I was expecting 3 different days in one day, and
It's been relatively.
yeah, it's been pretty good.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yesterday was like muggy as shit at one gym, which was good because I like to train in sweat.
Yes.
So that was good.
Humidity.
I like that. And yeah, it's pretty much just chilled.
Yeah. How is it meeting a couple of the people that you spoke to on Instagram in the gym?
Yeah. So that was fun.
Who'd you meet that you hadn't met before?
So Nelly, we've signed on as like a mental mentor client.
Right. So had you met her in person before?
No.
Right,
Like
okay.
we just like talk a lot on Insta and stuff about things she does, and like I kind of like her mentality of how she's overcome a lot of shit, and like her injuries and stuff like that. She's come back to it. So obviously Scaff does her training, and she works with a lot of mental professionals. But when we've talked, I'm kind of like they're kind of not saying the things to her that I would, and I was like, hey, look, if we're not going to conflict with your professionalism and like with other people you're working with, like I think we can help as well, because it's kind of the avenue I want to go down eventually anyway. So I was like, let's just do it once a month, wear some shirts, promote Matter stuff. Don't push my coaching, obviously, like you're being coached by Scaff, but in that regard, if I push my gear, push my coaching.
I'm a better coach.
Scaffy's full. Yeah, so yeah, Nelly, Sarah, which is like small as hell world. Sarah was friends with a chick that trains at my gym in Brisbane. I didn't know about.
Sarah isn't the one that trained with us at the time.
Yeah. She was,
Oh,
in there,
yeah,
she was
yeah.
there yesterday.
Oh, yesterday,
training.
Yeah. She's like, one of her friends came up to me and was like, when I was training the other day, and she's like, your friend shared my stuff from Melbourne. And I was like, who's your friend? And she's like, "Oh, you know Sarah?" And I was like, "I know a lot of Sarah." Like,
Yeah.
This was very, very
Yeah.
broad
Famous
here.
Ben Mayfield.
Yeah.
Do you know Ben's? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And she's
you
like,
know Sarah? Which one?
"Yeah, there's 31 in this room alone."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yeah, this one." And I was like, "Oh." She's like, "Scafi's client." I was
They
like,
probably have three of the most common names, like Aaron, Chris, and Ben.
"It's real original Australian stuff."
Yeah, right. I mean, considering the name Aaron is Jewish.
Well, I got
Sorry, I didn't look into the origins of your name.
I'm just saying.
Are
What
you
are the
Jewish?
origins of Ben?
Oh.
That I am not.
So he's got a Rupert going on.
He lives in the wrong suburb. He's Jewish.
Well, Q. I mean, yeah, close enough to the right suburb. But anyway.
But yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, like, COVID, like the big C aside, if it was not as prominent, it'd probably stay down a little bit longer. To be fair, it's like it wasn't as like, hasn't been that expensive. Places to stay, I would have just bought like maybe an Airbnb or something like that. But there's definitely gonna be a chance another time when the whole world stops being a piece of shit and like I can book in like a full week here, do some more exploring and traveling. But I just like to come down and train.
Yeah.
It's like
Good.
that was never going to be a boring time to me. So I was like, sweet.
Yeah, well, considering last time you came down, you were for comp, so it's like you didn't get a chance to really do too much anyway.
Yeah. Last time I was here was literally 2009 in March, so nearly gone on 3 years.
2019.
2019.
You coming down to Nationals? Fitfest?
I want to.
Nice.
I would like to because I know there's because when's FitFest?
20. Well, the men are on the 24th of April. Women 23rd of April.
Yeah, that weekend.
Right.
It's like what, third weekend of April?
Yeah.
It'll depend on uni, but I'll try and stay ahead of it so I can. That'd be nice. Because I'm gonna try and come down and do a couple of stage shows when I do my season, just for making up for not being able to compete for so long. Would like to do like 3 or 4 shows. We just don't
Nice.
get that many in Australia,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
so that'd be nice.
One in every state.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was gonna
Do
hit
the
up.
rounds.
I was gonna hit up Alan,
But-
go do one in
I was
WA.
going to say bar WA because they won't let you in.
Well, yeah, now they won't let us in. They're too good for us now.
Maybe they will in a year or two.
Yeah, by the end of the year, hopefully they've opened again, not told anyone.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have. Let's be real.
But yeah, so that's it's been good. Especially like you said, like the last time I was down here, I was coming off comp, and I think I had 1 day to explore after the comp before I had to go back to work. So it was kind of like I was here 3 days early, so I didn't have to adjust too much and like last minute try and prepare everything. Dolt didn't let me travel, didn't let me do much. Like no eating anything extra. There's no extra food or anything like that. So it was kind of just stay in the apartment, watch movies, put my feet up. So it wasn't really an exciting experience in Melbourne. So yeah, next time, like without the big C around, hopefully we can just extend it a little bit longer. Now that I'm online and it's like solely running my own business, it's free to
You
do
can
it.
work anywhere.
Yeah, legit. When I had that epiphany and I was like, wait, I can just do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I have like it's not as a brag thing. Like there's money there to do it. Why the fuck not?
As long as you get a photo with you by the pool, your feet up, and a coffee with the laptop on the lap.
Oh yeah, got to make
Yeah,
sure to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hashtag online coach life.
Bro,
Yeah,
I don't know how
lifestyle
to do
coach.
that, eh? Like the glare on the screen. I can't focus
I
on what I'm
fucking
doing.
hate it.
I cannot. Well, I'd
They're probably
rather
wearing
just finish my
sunnies.
work inside and then come outside.
Yeah,
That
I do
will-
that too. I allocate like 20-minute windows where I'll just do like some sun outside. I'll take like
Yeah.
a book or something, or have my audio book playing
Yeah,
on my
I'd
phone.
rather just read on my phone or something.
Yeah,
Or read a book.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
I
I've tried
can't
to do it
work
with
out there.
sunnies. I've tried to do it with like tilted my screen. I've tried to do it with other shit.
It's
I
just
don't know.
annoying, right?
Yeah, just glare.
Yeah.
What are you
I
reading?
feel like a laptop would just heat up.
Yeah. The laptop heats up. It's on a fucking small little screen. I'm trying
Yeah.
to like go between like 5 different tabs.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah,
pain in
and
the
really,
ass.
I guess
All the
when-
different videos you're trying to watch
Yeah.
I guess when you really
that aren't
the movies
client
I'm trying to watch.
accessories.
all the tabs.
Yeah.
So if you
Do
really
I feel like massage or BBC? What am I feeling?
though, if you really think about it, it's like if you're actually doing, I guess, that well as an online coach to be able to do that, you wouldn't be doing work by a pool or a beach
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's like you'd actually be enjoying your time by the pool and
Yeah.
the beach, and you do your work outside of those
weird
hours.
conflicting flex.
Yeah, right. When you
It
really
is a
break it
weird
down.
flex.
Yeah.
It's a very weird flex.
Absolute flex.
Look at me on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside here with my 2 clients.
And then, yeah. And then the second they finish that photo, fuck, I better get back inside.
Yeah, I've taken my photo. Now I'm gonna actually go in and do work because I've got.
Yeah, like I'm all for it if you've planned it. Like for me, like I start my mornings with like I'll get up because we have like this nice open rooftop in Brisbane and there's no surrounding
seen you
high
out there. It
rises.
looks sick.
Dude, it's such a good like way just to start the day. 20-30 minutes of vitamin D, get some coffee, have like my just first meal or something like that. Get my like tasks I need to get done for the day written down, and then I go in and start work. I'm not trying to sit up there and look like super pretentious about like I'm an online coach or online business.
Just getting the day started.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice start.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Just like Hey,
Grounding.
thanks for a good day.
Grounding.
Yeah, just ground
Out there
myself.
barefoot as well.
I do some anal bleaching up there. Like, what's it called? Anal tanning.
It's like
Anal sunning.
It's like calling you Barefoot Ben.
yeah. I'm gonna write a book too,
You need to also move to Byron Bay.
and then tell people that like tracking foods is an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And sell monkey shit coffee.
Bro, it's new business, it's new online life.
And that losing weight's now all about hormones.
Yeah, it's all about mindful eating.
All about
about the
hormones and mindful eating. And nutrient quality.
blood type diet.
Blood type diet.
100%. We're going to train based on your body size, your body shape.
Oh. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So at least you're having fun, which is always nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be. It was literally, this is just what I knew it was going to be, which is why I was keen to do it. It was just like to find, like, because I haven't been out, even with my previous employer and stuff. I hadn't been on a holiday, and like, I got a 2-day pass before the start of last year's uni semester
Yeah.
to go down. Like, I got to go to the Gold Coast, put some days off together, and come back to work.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, lucky me. Besides that, even that was risky because of COVID and what was breaking out in Gold Coast. So before that, it was literally down here for prep. Was the last time I was out of state. So I was like, fuck it, why not? A couple of days, literally just doing what we do anyway at home, which is still fun to me.
Yeah.
Just down here with you guys. So
Yeah.
sweet.
Makes sense.
Wish I could join you at some restaurants. It'd be nice.
So you'll have to wait till after season and come back, and then actually probably by the time that happens, I'll be in season.
Yeah, you'll be competing then.
Yeah. Because when
Well, April,
Have you decided what are you doing, Scafi? Are you doing season
or
B?
whatever Joe says, bro.
everyone that thinks Scaff should do season B, please harass him and message us so that
You
we can
heard my
argue about
check-in
it.
yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
And what did he say?
He's just like,
Joe's basically like, we're going to go for season B.
Oh, okay, so you're doing season B.
Joe's just like, we're gonna mass, we're gonna cut, we're gonna do this. I don't know how the timelines work. It's like, cool, man. You tell me when you're ready.
So he's already outlined it for you, basically.
It doesn't. Well, it does 12 months planning, like we all
Right,
do.
right, yep,
So,
yep.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. When he says
Exciting.
go for it, I'm like, go for it, and I'm not fussed. I'm easy.
Very exciting.
Because it'd be nice. Like we said today, it'd be nice. Was it today? Yeah, it's today. All three. I forget. I think it was
today?
It was Thursday.
Last
All
week.
three of us. It was like
when we were
Tuesday, right?
It's like it was last week when we were in person together.
This isn't one of one at all.
yeah.
All three of us would do a show. It'd be awesome. Because I know, like,
You're talking about overseas show though.
yeah, overseas shows or
overseas.
just shows in general would be sweet. But I know because like Tom wants to do an overseas show as well because he has classic as well. Tavi wants to get into classic. He'd be up. I definitely think he'd be up for an online show, overseas show.
Could be an online show. We
It
don't
could be an
know
online
yet.
show.
He's
Yeah,
definitely
maybe we do it by
for-
Zoom now.
He's definitely on for an online show.
Yeah. He's just for his OnlyFans. But yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be a good
I
experience.
suppose you actually just touched on a positive experience with bodybuilding there.
Nice segue.
So-
I like that.
You like that?
I like that segue. That's good. That's a good
like that
segue.
segue.
He's had some
Nice.
food.
Yes, he's up, he's
He's
raring.
up and about. He's ready.
I
to
don't
is
have any
this?
carbohydrates. I literally had
Carbohydrates.
protein, fats.
My electrolytes are booming.
Nice.
I had my coconut water. I'm balanced and regulated.
Your electrolyte
Is there anyone
balance
not getting fired today? Like, not getting shot at?
Your electrolyte balance is on point.
I'm just shooting, taking shots at everyone.
Because you had your coconut water. But anyway,
Oh.
what was the nice positive segue?
The
Continue
positive
on. May as
segue.
well go with
So,
it.
I mean, that's a positive of bodybuilding, right? Like
Yeah.
being able to go and travel, and if you know other people that are bodybuilders as well,
Yeah.
it makes the process easier because you can all travel together. You all know that you probably need to be somewhere close to a gym. You need to be somewhere close
Similar
to
food routines.
Similar food, you know. Everyone's going to be dieting. You probably needs to get some sort of cardio activity, output steps in, that sort of thing. So, I mean, that's a segue to one of the positives of bodybuilding is
Yeah.
the friendships, I suppose, that you build. And with bodybuilding, like, I suppose, not to go too deep, but like, you know, people that are in bodybuilding are obviously very similar personality traits to what
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
So you can obviously, that person, like even backstage, like the people you're competing against, like you've all been through the exact same thing, you know, suffering for months and months and months on end in order to get in shape. So like, obviously everyone's backstage, you know, they're eyeballing each other. They're like, I might be competing against this guy or this guy or this guy. But at the end of the day, like those people know what you went through more than anyone else.
Yeah.
So you could probably connect with them on a deeper level if you know, give them a chance to.
It's understandable, like, come stage day, like, you're ready to take, like, take souls and cut throats, but the rest, like, outside of that, and second you're off, you kind of, like, you know, like, we're all similar people, like, there's been a similar process, even if you're, like, a new guy starting out, it's your first season, or, like, your first show, whether you're someone's been there for 10 years, like, you know what it's like to be the guy with your first show. I've seen some personalities where I was like, dude, you've just been a dick. Like, tone it down a notch, you can drop the ego a bit.
There
like,
is that in this sport,
Yeah.
and not to touch on the negatives, but
Yeah.
you're always in every sport. You're
In
always
every
going to have
sport,
those
yeah.
guys that are highly egotistical
Yeah.
driven, and they're just dicks, really.
But
you know?
when you get to those points where it's like, there's 4 or 5 of you backstage, all know you're going through the same thing, having your carb ups and like going through your posing. Chances are you meet someone, someone already who's going to help you with your pump up and like, I'll hold your towel while you do it, you hold the towel while I do it, you resist while I do it, show me some posing, make sure I'm okay. Like, you just know you're going to find some of those guys, which is cool.
Hide people's shirts backstage.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic Generation Iron.
Classic.
Pumping iron. But yeah, because we did touch on like a couple of weeks back, touching on bodybuilding, and I had a few people sort of say like they were a bit concerned, like, oh, do I actually want to bodybuild? And I was like, you kind of just heard how we talked about the depletion side and like how your head goes, but you also got to look at like long term. If you actually like this, you're going to go through the hard shit, but you also then get to start appreciating what it's like to find a true intensity and train with
It's almost
someone.
the fun of it though, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly. It's like you
although
find those
we
limits.
painted it in a negative light, like a lot of the positives actually come from the hardships from bodybuilding.
You build like you physically can't build that resilience and mental toughness and that fortitude until you've gone through it to really know what it's like. And like, can my head actually handle this? Can my body actually handle this? Well, it's like, fuck, there's only one way to find out. Even if you don't get as lean as you think you're gonna do, like the positives of the mental development to get there as well, to sustain a diet for 12, 14, 16, 20 weeks.
Yeah. Plus doing what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, that sheer development of being able to push through and do something you said you're going to set out to do is a huge leap in developing self-efficacy, confidence, self-determination, and then you're like, cool, now I've got this, what's next? I can do this again. I found this was a bit harder this time. Like, we did a full reflection after my comp of like things I probably could have done in hindsight. Now I've got a bit more food in my head, like ways I could have structured my house to be a bit more like organized, ways I could have done my routine differently, things I could have done to improve just my overall life around it, make it a bit more conducive. So it's like, cool, next time, these are the things we do. And, they're just cool things you can set up when you go through a prep and you actually experience what it's like. So, I rate it. I rate the entire experience from going from feeling disgustingly full, like you're about to spew up every night, to then going through the extreme hungers, the extreme exhaustions, the tired, fatigue, the trying to pose with nothing but crap going on.
Yeah. No, I think on a personal level, like for me, what I enjoy most is like when you're in prep, you're in almost like this little bubble of like purity, It's like everything's like regimented. Your day from the moment you wake up in the morning, you've got to be thinking about your food. You've got to be thinking about what you're training that day. You've got to be thinking about, getting your output in for the day. If you've got cardio to do. So, and you almost like each day kind of builds and builds and builds on each other. And eventually like you're culminating towards this end goal. So for me, like not only do I feel like I'm making progression with my physique, but like even outside of that, it filters over into other areas of my life, like in terms of like productivity.
Yeah.
So, and because I'm up at a certain time, like where I may have slept in before because I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm up at a certain time, I'm like, oh, well, I may as well start work now.
Yeah.
So you end up getting more stuff done in like allocated time blocks, and everything kind of starts to roll and you start to feel really, really good. I mean, up to a point. I mean, obviously the back end of a prep's never going to be easy, but the habits that you start to build throughout a contest prep really start to filter over into your life. And it's that to me, I think is probably the biggest positive, I think, on an individual level, without like, obviously the relationships and stuff that you build with other people within bodybuilding. But the personal level, I think, the habit formation and all those little things like that go kind of unnoticed otherwise. Mm-hmm. Probably something that, people don't talk about enough.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day as well, when you think about it, probably at the art, like, if imagine doing an overseas show with people from your own country or whatever, like, you're all going to be at the same restaurant, like, the night after a show.
Man, how cool would it be if
like,
we did an overseas show, like, the three of us, and we're like, we'll book this motel together, we'll book this flight together, we got these 3 seats on the plane, like, and we all just boost over together. Like, I think it'd be so good.
I saw that the first Generation Iron you watch, and like Hadi Tada, what's his name? Hadi Yamagishi.
Yeah. And
he's like talking about how it's solo and you're on your own. He's in the shower by himself, washing his tan off, makes it look real miserable.
Yeah.
I'm like,
man, you hear like Kevin Levrone, right? He reckons like back in the day when they all did back-to-back shows and they'd go on like massive European tours, he would say that on the plane there would be banter, like they'd be fucking, like all of them though, like all the guys that competed back in that era.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different now because it's
Instagram.
There's not it's Instagram, and like, you don't even necessarily need to compete in order to build a big following and build some wealth from having a good physique. Like, you don't need to compete. Like, if you even look at Mr. Olympia, just because you're Mr. Olympia now doesn't mean you're going to earn a lot of money from it.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, your supplements probably cost more than what you actually make.
Yeah, all I want to make sure is don't think I'm going to be washing tan off you in the shower, bro.
I was just hoping you were going to like shave between the butt cheeks.
It's more so
it's
it's not the
stand
tan that's coming off. It's you have to shave his like
Yeah.
ass and butt crack.
Won't lie, Dalton actually got that responsibility on my first show. It was like the day before when I started going through the whole tanning process, because there's a process to it. It's
Oh,
like
of course, yeah.
3 days of like priming the body to get the tan on properly. And the first, I think it was like, maybe in 4 or 5 days out, whatever it was, when we started the whole process, and there was just like, I couldn't reach it, but there was a strip down my hamstring and my glute was just one bit of hair that neither angle I could get to.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Dalt, this is what I'm paying you for. And in he came. I was just like, get amongst it.
That's what a good coach does.
Yeah, hey, he was earning his dollar.
And cough.
Yeah. It's just bend over and touch your toes real quick. Yeah, sweet, no worries.
And just cough for me.
Yeah.
Why are you putting lube on 2 fingers? Don't worry about it.
Prostate check.
Yeah, that's all good. Oh, fuck, hello.
It's the most action you've got that deep into prep.
Bruh, nothing's working that deep in prep. I don't care what you say.
Oh, we didn't ask the other question. It was a little bit of a segue. The are you what you thought you were question.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be more so for you. I've met Ben. Like, I've been...
But you haven't. When was the last time you saw him in person? I suppose?
Oh, like the last time I saw Scaff was probably Dalton's
Has he
engagement
changed?
party.
Has
That was
he
like 2
changed?
years ago. I'd hope so.
Yeah, was it 2020?
Nah,
2019.
no, end of October 2019.
Yeah, it was after your comp.
Yeah. It was after Tavi came out as well. Yeah, it was like, it would have been September, October 2019.
Yeah, that sounds
Because the
about right.
wedding,
actually,
the
that
wedding
sounds
got
about
pushed
right.
back to
Yeah,
about
that sounds
October
about- that's right,
2020.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem any different. Picked him up, made me wait. Standard.
Standard.
Yeah. Like,
But we
none-
flipped
none-
it. I picked him up last time to go to the engagement party. So
Yeah, I picked him up. Was like sitting, so anyone that knows, like Melbourne Airport, the 1 minute parking.
bruh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so
whatever.
you had no idea.
Go on
but
with it.
Usually there's a marshal there who hurries
I
everybody.
was gonna say,
up.
bro, you want a tip? Go in the rideshare area.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
and
sit there as long as you want.
like.
Bro, I was
Yeah.
there for like 10 minutes the other day.
So I went to the 1 minute spot. Luckily, there was no marshal. I was there for half
Firstly,
an hour.
let's preempt this. It doesn't tell me there's time frames here.
I was sitting.
There was literally a crash on the carousel of like getting your bags back, and the whole thing froze. So I'm just like, hey, bro, like baggage carousel's stuck. He's like, okay, all
It's so
good.
annoying when they hurry you.
Yeah,
into.
well, yeah, because there was no one
Yeah.
there. So the guy that's usually there, or like the person, I guess not guy, could be a girl, hurries people up. Like they'll knock on your car window and be like, "Move along!" Like you've been here for
pretend
too
not to
long.
see them.
Yeah, you're like,
If I close my eyes, he'll go away.
yeah, like luckily there was no one there this time. So sitting there for half an hour waiting, I'm like, oh, that's all right. I'll just chill, just on my phone, waiting for him. But yeah, no difference. Get in the car. What's going on? Cool. All right, let's go.
Has he developed? Has he changed in the 2 years since you last saw him?
Fucking hope so.
Man, I feel like we've been speaking so much like on Zoom and on Instagram. It's just like there's no difference.
Yeah, they're
I
literally.
don't know, yeah, it just
Yeah.
feels like it's like whatever.
It's kind of like the episode in the bro chat where they all go down to Texas, where it's like they're kind of like, well, I don't know, we've all talked so much for so often, it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, same shit, different day.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, physically, I hope I've added 20 kilos odd, so that would want
Well,
to
you're
be
bigger
some.
than last time I saw
Yeah,
you. Yes,
that's the point we're getting at there.
Made.
Yeah,
That's-
Day
yeah.
made.
yeah. Well,
We'll call him Big Dog.
deflate. Yes. No one's called Big Dog yet. It doesn't count.
Hasn't gone to the gym and been called Big Dog yet.
Yeah.
You got one more day tomorrow.
I'll be happy if Mike ever just comes up to me like, "Hey, Big Dog," I'll be like, "Oh,
I've never heard him say that to anyone.
yeah." I don't think
Ever.
probably ever will.
No, I
He's-
think. Yeah, no, I don't think he's actually ever given. I can't think of Mike ever giving a compliment.
Yeah, no.
He's probably too tired most of the time. Let's be real. He opens
got
the
a lot
gym.
on.
Opens the gym at
got a
5,
lot on.
closes at 10. Like, I don't blame
Fair
him.
cop.
Yeah,
Fair
I don't blame him.
But no, Chrissy, like, his size is really coming through. Like, his photos are doing justice, which is good.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna have a nice shape on stage, which I already knew anyway. Like, seeing his posing and stuff, that you can just sort of tell when someone's got a nice shape. But like, seeing his lines come through this early is like,
Oh, thanks, Ben. Appreciate that.
yeah, it's
The
good.
the real question that everyone's asking and no one's asking, let's be real. Do you think he can get his card?
Do I think he can get his card?
Mm.
I haven't really seen the field of who's doing season A yet to say, but
Mm,
I
fair.
think
That's
he's in a
fair.
position to. I mean, the good news is too, at his height restrictions, he's got even more room to add more size
He does.
on already a pretty full frame. So, I mean,
To be honest, I haven't even thought about it.
No,
it just
of course
you
you
just go through
wouldn't
it,
have
right?
thought
Yeah.
about it. That's
Yeah,
why
it's,
I'm asking him.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be good fun to get out there and do my first outing with the IPB.
Yeah, actually,
So-
ICN last time.
Yeah, or it was actually IMBA. It was
IMBA,
before
yeah.
it was before
Yeah, wow,
the split.
yeah.
So it was the real IMBA before it split
Yeah.
to ICN. So that was the last time that I actually
How long ago was
competed
that?
myself. 2014.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it's been a long time. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm just really excited to. I'm actually like for 11 weeks out.
Yeah.
Like I actually feel pretty good. Like
Yeah.
surprising. Like comparative to the last couple preps that we've done,
Yep.
I was starting to drag like
Yeah.
quite a bit. So I'm not really sure what I put that down to. I don't know if there's just like a certain amount of resilience that you build prep after prep after prep.
Each time you start dieting
So
down,
it's like if you're a professional and you compete every year,
Yeah.
it almost just becomes something that you do. It's
You
like
just
just
expect it,
yeah,
yeah.
it's automatic. So it becomes all of your actions in the day become automatic. So
Yep.
I don't really need to think about getting up and oh, I got a donut here, I could eat that, or I don't really.
Yeah.
Those thoughts never crossed my mind. So I still think it's probably about another 5 to 6, maybe 7 kilos left to pull off. And to be honest, I got a full tank. Like I'm ready to go there.
Yeah.
I'm ready to really to dig in hard over this next like 11 weeks. And it's actually exciting because last time at this stage I was like maybe at 14 weeks out I would have been like, fuck, I've still got 14 weeks to go.
Yeah.
Whereas like now it's like
Oh, it's only
I'm in a
11?
good spot. I got
Yeah.
11 weeks and I'm like I'm ready to fucking to start
Like
pushing hard.
at the current condition, even anyone that would know anything about conditioning, you've got time in there for refeeds and like a maintenance or refeed week easily.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like
well
like
ahead.
you've got that position up your card. Not that you will even use it, but having that position of comfortability to know that you've pushed enough in the off season and the pre-prep phase to be in a condition to start well that you could then push to we're at like 5 weeks, we're pretty far ahead, or 6 weeks out, and you start like your performance is really dwindling. Let's go into like a refeed week, get some food back in, push the next 5. Like you've got space for that.
Yeah. I think that was the plan. Like Dean wanted to go hard. He wanted to go early.
Yeah.
And that just puts us in a better position towards the back end to, I suppose, tweak the look.
Yeah.
If we need time to practice a peak week, or then we've got it. We've
Yeah.
got that time up our sleeve towards the back end there. But again, too, like we just still don't know how long it'll take me because, like, I still feel like that elite level of conditioning. Like sometimes you need to sit there for like 3 or 4 weeks for it to come off. Just even to that last little bit that makes all the difference. So I'm happy that we're in a good spot now to kind of continue pushing. Like he doesn't seem too worried, so not that he ever really seems too worried.
No.
But, I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty easy person to coach because he literally will set the plan and I will not waver from it in the slightest.
Yeah.
So,
You wouldn't want a coach worrying, right? Imagine having a coach that's worried and like
Oh,
your
yeah.
coach is worried. You'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah, that's going to exacerbate your stress.
You know, how many times I get comments from clients and I'm like, I'm just telling them to relax. I'm just like, they're like, but you're never worried. I'm like, imagine if I was worried and imagine you now. Like,
Yeah, you're coming to me for the answers. Why do you want me to be worried?
10 times worse than you are now. Like, you're worrying over nothing. And imagine if I was worried over nothing as well. Well, then you'd be in a
Pretty shit dynamic there.
Yeah, you'd be in a much
not a
worse spot
conducive
than what
training
you are.
coach environment.
Yeah, like you'd be much worse off than you are now anyway.
I appreciate that because I feel like I kind of lost the train of thought there, but I feel like you've actually seen me on probably the worst possible week like ever. So this is probably like
Flat
I
week.
feel like I was probably looking way better last week. Maybe a little bit leaner this week, but because we made that manipulation with the carbohydrate, we basically cut it in half, cut carbs down to like 150, and then push fat up to like 100 to like drive up a little bit more natural diuresis before we fill up again towards the back end of next week and deload as well. I feel like you've seen me at the worst, and if you're still like decently impressed with what I'm looking like now, then that's positive.
Yeah,
What
it's a good sign.
happens when carbs get back in?
Yeah.
Because you've seen
Yeah.
Scafi's seen firsthand how much my physique especially changes when like even after something like a refeed and even putting in like even like after a deload and stuff, like I just get that pop back.
Yeah.
And that pop on my physique with my lines like makes all the difference. Like if I look flat and I look fatigued and I look like shit, I just don't look good at all. You know, it really is like a prominent difference.
Yeah.
But actually, I was going to say for you, I think that you're probably exactly what I thought you were going to be. Just for the listeners, it's my first time meeting Ben, but like it's like down to the T. Like I think it's exactly what I thought Ben was going to be. So
I hope that's a good thing.
yeah, like I think with you initially I was like I first saw you and I was like, fuck, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. You know, I actually thought
take
you were
that.
shorter
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
as well, but like
Have you ever
seeing like your stature in person, like it's different to what like I had expected in my mind. You know,
Right. I've literally never heard that, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
I'll-
like
I'll
the
take
one,
that.
The one time you feel like, oh, I'm taller than what I come across as. Hey, win.
Yeah, I'll take it.
taller but like more mass as well, like on your frame. Like
Okay. I'll take it.
He's calling you wide, baby. He's
Yeah,
calling you
I'll take
wide.
I'm calling you a large.
So,
a
so
large man.
you would say in a non blow my ego even harder way that the last 2 years have paid off.
last year's a paid off big time. I said that to you when we were posing.
True.
Like
Yeah.
I even looking at you in those side shots with
Yep.
like the hamstring hang coming down,
Yep.
and even those little tweaks we made to like pop the adductor more on those rear shots. Like,
Yep.
fuck, they were looking mad. Like even just with the little tweaks, that rear lat spread,
Yep.
and the rear double bi were looking really good.
Yeah, so that like we were talking about it, me and Dolt the other day. He wanted to do like a video, what's the word, testimonial kind of thing for his coaching. I was like, yeah, sweet, let's do it. And we're sort of diving into, I lose my train of thought here. Where we come from with my first prep. It was really just and kind of like that positive we talked about before with my first prep. The position I was in, and it's not to make it sour or salty or anything, but Dad passed away, my missus broke up with me, Mum had her own cancers and tumor to go through, and it was all in this period where like everything around me was falling to shit, and I was like, no matter what I do for the next 12 months, you do not let me not make prep. Like no matter what I do or how bitchy I become, whatever, it's like I'm paying you money essentially to make sure I get there, and then we worry about winning after that.
It's kind of like a good outlet, right? Like,
Yeah,
it gives you something to actually focus on.
Not even so much an outlet. It was like,
happening.
this is one thing I know I have control over that nothing can take me.
It's the one thing you have
Yeah,
control
I
over.
can absolutely control this and not give a fuck what anyone else says or does. And I can bring my best self to it no matter what. I mean, there was like, the stresses and stuff like that were going on. It could have been better. The entire environment could have been better. But I knew for a fact that if I could get through it this time, then the next time would be even better. So, I mean, we started at like going through all the stress and stuff, I was physically getting ill, eating 2,500 calories. Like physically just could not digest food to the point it was like I was just feeling sick. But I knew that if I used that as an excuse to get out and not do it, which again is another positive to bodybuilding, is like it showed me that I could do something I set my mind to. And it was like, all right, cool, I'm going to suffer for a while just because this is how my body's responding and reacting. Great. But this time, having like 2 years now of like conducive training environments, food, periodization of programming, and getting to a point where I can actually start to take in large quantities of food, handle large volumes of training, sleep better, rest better, recover better, take it all more seriously, is like, though I go through pretty fluffy phases, I'm also willing to do that because all that matters to me is show day. Yeah. So like that.
I think any good bodybuilder like that, you've got to go through periods, at least some in some off seasons, especially I think earlier in your bodybuilding career when, you're making you're building your foundation physique, like you're building the
When
mass
you've
that
made
you've
the
got,
decision-
especially if you're pushing up a weight class too.
Yeah.
Like, bro, no one's pushing up a weight class, lean gaining or main gaining throughout your off season. Like, you're going to have to fucking push the food and you're going to have to push probably the body fat up as well in order to get there. Otherwise, you'll just stay the same weight.
Yeah. And it's been like, that's the coolest part that's been over like the last 2 years, to see, again, another cool part of it when you really commit to, I think the lifestyle of it and the overall process of it is that I've gone through from like stage weight was 81.4 at Arnold's to go up to then 106. I think it might have been like 6 or 9 months after. And then we cut back to 89. And that was about me I think it was like 6%. So still a few more kilos I could pull off that look. Then we went back up to 110. So like in the space of 2.5 years, it's been like, 40, 50, 60 kilos of weight gained and lost. And like, that's just, like, it's just cool to see what the body is capable of doing and like how that whole lifestyle you can just do that.
Eating disorder, bro.
Yeah, it's an eating disorder.
And like, you wouldn't say like that, bodybuilding takes away from your life that much either. And look all the progress you've made. Like, you still come down here and you're still able to eat some nice food and you're still able to go out and enjoy yourself. Like, it doesn't need to take away, especially in the off season, I think.
No.
Unless your literal wage depends on it and you're like trying to be a top 10 Olympian or trying to be a pro, like, I don't feel like it needs to take away from your life. It can add positively to your life as well.
Oh,
It just
100%.
depends on how serious you actually take the endeavor.
Any person that's successful at anything has to attribute some form of success or set up some forms in their life to discipline, habit formation, routine, structure, scheduling. Like, you can't run a 7-8 figure business on a whim and just start making shit up as you go. Like, you start to data analysis, you start to do like market tracking, you start to do like assessments of other staff members or your own lifestyle. Like, where can I fit in to be more efficient or improve this or like do better at this? Bodybuilding encourages that. Like, that whole, like, you really have to do like a self audit and self analysis of like, where do I suck? Where can I be better? How much more efficient can I be? Am I really pushing my training intensities as I try and claim I am? Like I was saying before, it's that difference of like the online coach who looks like an online coach versus someone who's actually busy being an online coach. Like, there's that difference in level of how it's all set up. And I think bodybuilding just offers like that positive aspect to it that you can really think about it, and you have to put yourself on blast in a positive, like, constructive reflection, and see where you suck and where you can be better and how you can improve and what you can do differently. There's like self audits should be a common thing for everyone. And if you think you're not good, or if you think you're already good and can't get better, you're full of shit and you're already going to suck anyway.
Like instantly, if anyone is a decent competitor, instantly what they're doing at the end of a contest prep is they're going back through, analyzing their entire physique, and then progressing on forward from there. They're not just continuing to train in a random manner. They're like, okay, this muscle group sucked, this muscle group sucked, this muscle group sucked. What can I do now surrounding my programming in order to, and nutrition variables to bring this body
you'd
part
be going
up for the
through
future.
not just the actual physique, you'd be going through the training parameters as well. And then if you're enhanced, you'd probably look at the enhanced protocols that you use, the nutrition, and match up and, go through all of it and be like, okay, this is where I need to make better improvements or a better exercise selection, set selection, rep selection for these body parts. And it's like, this is where I fucked up. And you can see it on the physique. It's like, I obviously didn't do enough for my shoulders, and I thought that I did. So this time I'm going to have to do more for my shoulders on the next blocks. So it's like, if you're not doing that needs analysis and you're not doing that reflective stuff, like, what's the point? What are you doing? Like, I don't see it. I don't get it. People are stupid.
Yeah, and that's one of the the beauties of bodybuilding is that like being able to do that then applies to other areas of your life. And if you're unable of doing that, I dare say you're unable of doing it in other areas of your life. Like if you can't take constructive criticism, from judges. Like firstly, if you're gonna go and like after the show cry because like a judge pointed out your shitty calves, me.
They point that out.
What's that?
They pointed out.
No, actually,
I was gonna say, calves are probably the one body part that you can get away with because no one gives a fuck about calves.
Yeah, surprisingly, they told me like, you could do some more arm training. I was like,
Big Remy's calves suck.
Yeah, oh yeah. To me,
Right.
my whole thing is like, I just always knew I was like, I need more legs, and they didn't say that first. I was like, I'm gonna train legs. I don't care what you say.
What was
anyway.
your feedback from your last show?
Feedback was pretty much just get a little bit drier, and catch up my upper body. Actually, they said I should have more upper body, but like at the time I had very small legs, so like to them it was like maybe upper body could do some more work. I don't know. Posing got full points, which is cool. Like that was good. And yeah, they said it could have been a little bit more dry, lower to top. So I was like, I think it was just a very simple fact that came down to stress responses that like I couldn't have done any more work. I couldn't have done any more like cardio output. Stick to the calories. Like I think I was pushing like 1250 towards the back end. Like I had to suck for a while there. And that's not a reflection of DOLT. That was just how my body was responding to food. It was just got to push it down. There was just that stress hold. That just like the last bits of fat just wouldn't come off. Like everything going on in life, I just couldn't get more than 6.5 hours sleep. I was just anxious, stressed, like all that sort of stuff. All things I know of now to do differently and that we are aware of. But there's just that lower half just was that tad more watery than the top half. Like my back had lines in it and shit that I didn't even know existed. But then through hammies and stuff like that, just could have had a bit more cuts through them. Glutes could have been a little bit more drier. Just little things like that.
Yeah. You know what my feedback was? Basically, it was nothing surrounding the actual thing on the day. It was like amazing physique, conditioning was spot on, head and shoulders above the other guys.
10.
Just don't cross over to the dark side.
Oh.
That was legitimately in my feedback.
Oh my God.
That was literally what my feedback was. And I was just like, I read that and I was like,
Cool. I mean, you take the positives.
Well, guess what I'm doing?
thanks. Thanks.
Fuck you guys.
Thanks for that.
And it was then I decided.
It was at that
was that
point
moment.
they realized they'd fucked up.
It was at that point they realized I'd injected the week before. Nah. Yeah, shit. Right, that'd be an interesting feedback.
Yeah, I'm surprised I still remember that, but
Well, I
yeah,
feel like that'd be
it's
pretty hard to
interesting.
forget.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
feel
when
like,
I
yeah,
read
like,
that's a
feedback,
big
really
call to
stuck
be
in my
like,
mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
This motherfucker.
How'd you take it? Like, what did you take from that? You're like, well, that's what I'm going to do.
I basically just read it and I was like, didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, cool.
What,
At the time, I
what'd you
was
place?
set on. No, I won.
Okay, yeah, right.
But I was set on winning my natural pro card at the time.
Yeah.
I think that year, because I got two. I think I got. You only get one set of feedback, but because I won the teens and the juniors,
Yeah.
and I was still a teen when I still won the juniors as well. But it, I was kind of like, I was really set on it. I was like, I wanted to go to the Natural Olympia, and I wanted to compete at WNBF Worlds, and I really wanted to go down that route. And then I actually injured my back.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of like fell out of love with bodybuilding a little bit. And because I had been injured, I couldn't train to the same capacity that I wanted to. You know, I was big into deadlifting at the time. I was big into benching. I was squatting and I was getting pretty strong. And I was like, oh, well, I really enjoy this, but then I didn't actually get injured from those movements. I
Yep.
got injured playing cricket.
Yep.
Unfortunately. So,
Rookie
and it
mistake,
literally
playing
took me about
balls.
3 years to come back from it, and I was just like, I just don't know if that's what I want anymore. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Fair.
And I just made the decision that I was like, and even to this day, like once I make a call, I just have like this rule with myself that as soon as I make a decision, I don't ever look back.
Yep.
So I'm never going to say to myself, I regret this or I regret that, because at that given point in time, it was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because like I very much agree. It's a hard thing for people to accept, is like the duality of a process or a question. Like once you make a decision, you forego all other opportunities, but at the same time, you made a decision that you wanted.
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't really appreciate that, which is like,
Yeah, accept the decision you make.
yeah,
and
accept
roll
the
with
decision
it.
you make,
Yeah.
because you inevitably have to make decisions, and then to live in the regret of a decision based on what, if I did this, or like, people message me and it's like, well, what if you didn't, work where you didn't have the car accident, or what if you did get to play footy, would you still compete and want to do all these sort of things? I'm like, I don't think about it anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
you
there's no point.
And you can't, right?
Yeah,
Because
what
what are you
do I
going to
get
do?
out of that?
Sit there and dwell on it. It's just going to be like, you're going to be constantly wondering what could have been.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, in this reality that we live in, it wasn't what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You
Like-
are what you are now.
Exactly right. And like, I could be like, in hindsight, I would have loved to have started bodybuilding earlier in my career so that I had a younger age to start developing from. But now that I have the maturity of my training history and the things I know, especially around injury prevention, like understanding what my body's capacities are, I feel I'm a more mature trainer and have a more educated background on what I'm doing. And so supplement approaches, nutrition approaches, like intensity approaches are better because I've had to take the conscious, like, educated approach to it versus just going in and just fucking balls to the walls and just
Guns
throwing
blazing.
everything to the kitchen sink and see
Seeing
what
what
sticks.
sticks,
Yeah.
I think what's more funny out of that conversation is like Chris winning and asking for feedback. I feel like if I was the judge, I'd be like, "You won, bro." Like, what do you mean you want feedback?
Well, they usually give it like
I
they
know, I'm
write
trying
it and they'll
Yeah.
email it out to you,
Yeah,
or they'll
yeah.
post it out to you or something. So it's not like you ask for feedback. It's like they just give it to you.
You won. Game over.
Well done, well done,
Kudos.
champ.
Yeah.
Well, good job, pal. Thumbs up
Well
emoji.
done, champ.
Good job, big dog.
You know what though? Like even after that, like I've said this multiple times, like because the following year I prepped one of my best mates, and he won that same show, and he also won an A&B show, and I got him in incredible condition, and it was and that to me was like, it was so rewarding doing that for someone else. Like when I came off stage, like I probably never really spoke about it too much, but when I came off stage, I just kind of still felt empty.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason that I felt that way was because I genuinely still wasn't happy with the physique that I presented on stage. So like this time around, like, obviously we're talking about pro card, we're talking about winning this, winning that. Like ultimately that doesn't really matter to me. What really matters is, can I genuinely just look at myself and say, am I happy? Am I genuinely happy with the way that I look today? And if I can say that, and I feel like, that I'm the best that I've ever been, then there's not much more I can do than that.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
other side to that, are you in this sport because you'll never have that feeling? And you're chasing something that you'll
Potentially.
never
I
have?
don't
you know
know.
what I
It's
mean?
there, yeah, it's
like
there.
on the
It's
other
there.
side to
Yeah.
that, because it's like, when people are like, "Oh, you're big enough," it's like you're never big enough. It's
Yeah.
like, you're conditioned enough. You're never conditioned enough.
Yeah.
It's like, at what point does that actually really happen?
Yeah.
Hopefully it does. I'm not saying it doesn't, but like, just the other
I
side
don't
to
know.
it. Yeah,
Like that's what I
right?
mean. Like
I wonder,
that's why
like-
I'm in search of it.
Yeah, like I wonder if like
When you
the
find out, let me know.
Yeah, well, I wonder if like when a pro like Rami gets on stage, maybe not the last one, but like last year's one, it's like were you genuinely happy with what you presented? Like, could you say that you did everything and you're happy? It's like
You know what else too? Like with Rami, for example, like let's just say because he was better the previous year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You get on stage, you still win, but in your heart of hearts, you weren't as good as what you were the
Yeah, well,
previous year.
if
Yeah.
you-
How does that feel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
at
know.
least you know the answer to the question.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, you pick anyone that's had their best look ever, and like a retired pro maybe, and be like, this was your best look according to whoever. Could you say that you were happy at this point? And I imagine the person's gonna be like, nah, like I wanted to be bigger.
And see,
I
there's-
wanted to be drier.
The funny part is there is a science as to why that does occur, and it's a lot to do with like the way we shape and terminology, the terminology we use around our goals,
Yeah.
and the way that a lot of people approach outcome goals, not realizing that what they're actually looking for is a process situation.
Yeah.
And so like I think now, especially with you, how you've become a lot more process orientated versus just fixated on like, I wanted to go to Natural Olympia. Like, you want to win, absolutely, but there's also a process in this time where your whole thing is more so around like, I want to bring my best possible look. How do I do that? I know by setting up these processes and systems, I'm going to achieve that. I leave nothing in the tank, maximize every single day and every single training session, every single meal, and it all goes to the purpose of me being the best possible look I can have. You're going to get a higher sense of fulfillment, which in turn produces a lot higher amounts of positive emotions, which is going to give you a lot higher sense of satisfaction and fulfillment out of your training and what you did. And though we're never going to feel satisfied being on stage, like there's always going to be like, you could literally win something, like win states, nationals, win the pro card, whatever, and you're still going to be like, okay, but then it'd be competitive in pros. What do I have to improve?
That would honestly, that worries me as well, because I'm like instantly thinking, if I was to progress to that level or that tier, it'd be like instantly like, well, what can I do now to be competitive in pro ranks?
Yeah, and that's the point of like when you restructure in your mind that it's more of about an ongoing process of you doing your absolute best and know that you're absolutely orientated to this outcome, but you're
It's
also
good because psychologically this is something I struggle with. You know, this is something probably my biggest struggle. Like even accepting like positive feedback, even from what you were saying before, it's still like I enjoy hearing it because I genuinely know it's coming.
You don't want it to inflate you and like stop your training intensity, or like you don't want
it never does though. Like
Yeah.
I kind of I hear it, but I instantly kind of dismiss it.
Yeah.
You know, like I hear it and it comes in and it makes me feel good, but like at the same time, like I don't ever. I'm not like taking that and thinking, oh, I'm the shit now. In my head, I still think, well, you're still shit though.
My head, I'm just like, well, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that key difference there changes how we.
Like, a good example, I couldn't just accept the fact that you said that I look good. I had to go back and say, oh, yeah, but I look better last week.
Yeah, 100%.
I look better with carbs than me, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you wait till you see me full.
I said about my dick size.
Yeah.
It looks bigger.
It looks bigger, trust me.
It's because it's cold outside. It's winter. It's winter in Brisbane.
It's like things look bigger in the rearview
But
mirror.
yeah, I genuinely think not that you'll have a complete sense of like satisfaction or being content with the look, but I think because in the way you're describing it this time is a lot more process bound than last time where it was like, I had to win. I want to go to the Olympia and get the Natural Olympia, and I have to get this stage position, like win first, whatever it was.
Like setting yourself up to be let down.
Yeah, you're kind of setting yourself up for the inevitable fall down because it's never going to be the thing you think it is. And goals, especially for us in this sort of division and category of sport, the goal is always shifting past where it is because we're always looking for that next development. So when the goal is set more of a process orientation as opposed to a outcome orientation, it's not ever that you really let down. It's like, cool, this is part of the process was to get the stage this week or this year. Okay, so then the next part of the process is I continue to develop and work on what was wrong or weak or like what wasn't very good. And although you're still outcome focused, which is the win, you're also, I guess, discussing and you're processing the whole process, which is like each show is just a process of me getting to the next show and the next show, which is in process me getting better and better and better.
You know what I'm going to need to do? When I'm ready to step away from bodybuilding, I'm going to have to hire you. You know? So I can actually do it in a way, like let's just say that because when I step away from bodybuilding, I'm not going to stop training or anything.
No,
it's just like I'm going to
most
stop,
people won't,
you know, competing, I suppose, and all the stresses that come with that. But that for me, because you know, at that point, I would have been doing it for so long.
Yes,
that it'll
you wouldn't
kind of
know any
been,
different.
Yeah, I wouldn't know any different. So it'd be a big, and I know that a lot of people, it happens in every sport.
Yes.
You know, like a rugby league player retires, and if they're not instantly focusing on something else that they can be doing with their time, like they become depressed.
It's funny, you're literally talking about this. I spoke about it the other day, and there's actually a thing that it is, and it's what we call our self-narrative, and it's the identity and story we create about our life and who we are that you then become fixated on that thing. So like right now, you are Chris as a bodybuilder, but there's so much more to Chris that you probably haven't expanded yet or explored yet, and it's not to say you'll ever stop training, but what it becomes is that you're this thing. And then, like, for a lot of people, usually it happens instantly. Like, they suddenly stop. Like, I went through it when my injury took away my rugby league career. I played it for 20 years. Yeah. I didn't get that phase out period where it was like that intermediate, like, I'm going to retire this year. I'm going to play my last games, hang out with the boys, really take it in. It was kind of like, this year you're playing and trying to go for a contract. This year you're done.
Do you think that would be better or worse? So do you think it would be better to have that phase out period, or do you just think going cold turkey, like the way that happened with you?
It really, I think, depends on the intensity of the person. Because, like, for me, like...
But for you as an individual.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't playing for fun. Like, I was playing for fun, but the fun came from kicking ass and winning and, like, being the best in my position I could be and trying to get to the next level of playing. And so... to have that competitive edge completely wiped from me was shit. It fucked my head. Like, I spent a long time trying to figure that out.
Yeah, the difference I think though would be is he didn't have a choice. you'll have a choice you'll retire hopefully when you want to retire.
Yeah. On
And
your
then
terms.
you're going out on like your terms. So
Yeah.
for you, for powerlifting, for example.
He didn't have his choice to retire. It was taken away.
Yeah.
Different. You know what
Which
I mean?
I think that's the massive issue. And then like you see that with a lot of the guys who like they don't get a contract re-signing, but mentally they're still keen to play.
Yeah.
Or like especially like if we say rugby league, you get the guys that are kind of like 28, 29, 30, and no other club wants to pick them up. They're forced into retirement, but they didn't want to retire. Then they have to start coming to terms with like, well, what do I do next?
Yeah, well, it's like the AFL player that was in WA, 21 or 23 or whatever. He had mental health issues.
Yeah.
He had like suicidal tendencies, and I don't think it was ever said that it was suicide, but it looks like he's committed suicide because he couldn't deal with the pressures outside of football. He's like, I wanted to play footy. Everything I did was football.
Yeah.
And then when he wasn't good enough, effectively.
It's sadly one of the risks of being highly neurotic, conscientious, and very goal orientated. It's like, especially when it comes to high performance,
Can be
is
a
that-
double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, like you're everything you do is like we know that there's a formula quotation marks to high levels of performance and success, but even though if you do all those things, there's never a way to guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like there's also a lot to do with genetics, time and place, where you're born, like all this shit. And so you can do absolutely everything in your ability to get to be the best you possibly can, and there's no way to guarantee it's going to happen. So then you have to also be able to like sort of like
Chase fulfillment from like you need to find fulfillment in something.
yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it's just going to be like I said before. In my case, you can win and it still be fleeting and feel like nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's a big thing that a lot of athletes struggle with in any sport, and it actually it's a huge issue for people that are forced into retirement from just like life in general, is that they don't retire into a purpose outside of what they're already doing or something bigger than what they are, and then it just becomes like detrimental and they become depressed and they've lost who they are as a person. They like subside to trying to fill that with something else, which becomes like usually like some sort of addiction or drugs or alcohol, playing up on
How
the
often do you
misses.
see that? You know?
Fucking yeah, exactly, all the time. So there's that phase period where I think a lot of like not sports psychology, but psychology will inevitably change. Is that these people that we take for granted, like the egotistical and the rugby league players are dickheads and stuff like that, like yeah, cool, but they're also human, and there's going to be that phase, that period where they want to go to a normal life or they want to do something after their sport. If you just throw them in the cold turkey and just like, all right, see you later, you're done. There's dudes are going to start doing some real shit, and like just being able to identify that and talk to what you want to do next, or who do you want to be after this, or where do you go from here, and start preparing that. Because like I said, you're not ever going to stop training, but you do have to figure out who you are outside of bodybuilding for the day that you do stop competing.
Yeah, there is more to you than being a
When you
bodybuilder.
close the chapter. When Chris the bodybuilder, you close the chapter. And
Yes. And
Legit, yeah. Like that's like kind of the process where I had to go about it with like rugby league. It was like, cool, that's just done. I have to like, I can't fixate on this anymore because it was depressing. And I was like, I went through depression, but I was like, what do I do? Do I sit here and sulk about it for the next 25, 30 years and then die at 60 because I'm
you'll be
depressed?
that guy in the pub at like 60.
Yeah,
It's
exactly
like
right.
Telling
Like, I
all the young
fucking
kids
hate
that
those
train,
guys.
I used to be. I used to
Yeah.
do this. I used to do that.
back in my day.
Back in
Like,
my day.
I could toe punt.
You literally can go into any rugby league leagues club throughout
someone's there.
any district, and you will
Yeah.
see that guy,
100%.
or even multiple of those
Yep.
guys
Yeah.
every time.
Just big dick swinging contests about what they used to do. Okay, what do you do now? Well, I drink here on a Sunday until
Not just Sunday, every day.
yeah, every day. Yeah, every day. I mean, I'm the regular here. Okay, cool. You probably shouldn't be, but
Some would say that's living the dream.
I mean, hey,
we,
Kudos
have
to
to look
them.
at we have to look at the positives.
I suppose because it makes you genuinely happy.
Yeah, hey, if that's what that's what gets you off, go nuts,
go
right?
nuts. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to judge. I'm just thinking like, okay,
It's like I'm not one to judge, but I'm judging.
yeah, you do you, you do you, boo boo.
Should we do some questions?
Yes.
Yes, let's ram them out.
We've got a few, considering we did one yesterday and today.
Yeah. For everyone that's listening that did ask Scafi on my arrival, we were supposed to do like a Q&A on my drive in. It didn't happen.
Not so much on the drive-in. It was more we were going to do it at some point, and then we got too busy eating a kami.
Yeah.
We were there.
I
The
got
7:45.
seduced.
Oh, how well did you get the Walker's Donuts?
No, I didn't know
yeah.
getting
You
them.
didn't get 'em,
No,
you
because it
didn't,
started
right.
raining. It started raining. I was like,
Oh,
I was,
yeah, the storms
I
came through
was
last
keen,
night.
and then it was like I looked out, and it was like 10 o'clock by the time we got back from dinner, and it was like 10:30. I had a shower. I just had to just like
Yeah.
Do Akami, they do dessert, right? Like you can
Yeah,
get.
you just got an ice
yeah,
cream.
actually a little bit like it was one
Did you
scoop
get-
of ice
did you
cream.
get ice
Yeah,
cream?
yeah, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, well,
Nice
it's
and
what-
simple. But then I was
Yeah.
like,
I
man,
kind of like that though. You know, they don't need to overdo it.
No, but it's nice ice
good.
cream.
oh,
Like,
it was.
remember
It
the
was.
vanilla?
Yeah, I know. I had a scoop.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, like all right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just tops it off.
No toppings, no extra stuff. It was just like just simple scoop of vanilla. I was like,
Man, they've actually got in St Kilda like a really nice Ben and Jerry's store. like
Oh, really?
with these whacked out, like not whacked out flavors, but different flavors that you can't buy in the actual shop.
Yeah, okay.
Oh man, they're fucking great.
But yeah, I saw the Walker's Donuts distance. It was 24/7. I was like, fuck, I can get around.
24/7? I
It
didn't
said
know that.
it said 24/7. I was like,
Dude, who's buying a donut like 4 in the morning?
me? I was
3
considering
in
it.
the morning.
But then the rain. Yeah.
No, unless it's a Macca's cheeseburger, you're not buying it.
Bad.
I'll not
I'll
just
get
a
that
Macca's
and a
cheeseburger,
donut.
a $2 Macca's
Yeah, it's
cheeseburger.
$2
Because you need to
cheeseburger.
feel like you're getting
He'll
a
drive the
discount or
$10
something.
amount of
Look,
petrol to get the $2
I will
cheeseburger.
check the Macca's app right now and see what the deal is. Just
But I
And
didn't
you will
get
be getting that on
around.
the way home.
I didn't get around to getting any. So Scafi will be driving me there tomorrow to get some.
to
Walker's Donuts, yeah.
Walker's Donuts.
I have had them before. They don't stick out in my mind as like incredible.
See, I think my issue was the only time I've had food down here was post comp, and that doesn't count because everything's good
Everything's going to
post-comp.
taste amazing.
Bro,
yeah.
Everything's going to taste amazing.
$2 double cheeseburger.
A double today.
Oh, double.
right? You can't say no to that.
$2 double.
It's rude not
Double the
to.
calories for the same price.
Fucking, it's rude not to. Anyway, let's get to questions.
Here's some questions.
Because we'll be here all day talking about Macca's again.
Get off on that
Scaffy will be here all day talking about Macca's. We've up and left. And
Scaffy's very passionate
Yeah.
about his Macca's.
Can't go wrong with consistency.
I haven't had
people.
Macca's in fucking probably like 2 years.
But the day after your comp, we'll go Macca's.
We're not going to Macca's.
yeah, fuck, dude. I'll be so disappointed in you if your
That would
first
be the
thing.
last
yeah.
thing I would want to go
It'll
to.
be the first stop in many stops.
I reckon. I don't even know where. I just want a cheesecake. I said. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you said
I
cheesecake,
want
yeah.
my cheesecake. If anyone else
Yeah.
looks at it,
Yeah.
they die.
Shivved spoon to the eyeball.
Shift spoon to the eyeball. Can I just have a taste? No.
You can taste
No.
these nuts.
But you've got a whole cheesecake. No.
No.
I know what I'm about,
Yeah,
son.
I have a whole cheesecake.
not
This sounds
you.
like a
No,
you
it's like-
problem.
yeah, it's like,
I have a whole cheesecake.
I don't have a whole cheesecake. I have two.
Maybe
whole
they'll bake
cheesecakes.
me a half and half.
Oh, that'd be good.
You know, like
No, you
how
can go to the
Domino's
Cheesecake
do, like,
Factory.
half
The
and half?
cheesecake's-
No. I want like a proper, the old paper shop deli in St Kilda, in
Oh,
South
okay.
Melbourne. I want like proper baked, like
Right,
home
okay.
cooked
Yeah,
cheesecake.
like-
So not like the cheesecake
Not
shop.
just like a cheesecake shop.
Right,
cheesecake.
okay.
You want a
I'm with
legit.
I want the
cheesecake.
legit,
Yeah, right.
legit cheesecake.
I mean, if you asked them, they probably
Yeah.
would make you
I
a
think they
special
would.
one.
I think
Yeah.
they would.
It'd just be how much.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
don't
just
care.
cost him- yeah, exactly.
Cost is
At
no
that
issue.
point,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no one
exactly.
cares.
Money
You
is
just
no-
walk in,
money is no
Money
problem.
is not a problem. Can you make this happen?
Here is
If I got to
$1,000.
pay $200 for it, I'll pay it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. All right, most brutal way to let someone in the gym know they stink without saying, "Bro, you stink."
Shit.
I just give them a deodorant can.
Subtle, just
Honestly, I'm too nice. I'll just walk away. I won't say anything.
I mean, I had that at RBT. So when I first started at RBT, again, when you start, you get assigned members. So there's like 300 members. There's 5 coaches. You get like 50 to 60 members each, and you're supposed to manage these members. Would have been literally my 4th day in, I reckon. And my manager goes, "Look, you're one of your members who, again, I didn't even know because it's my 4th day in. Like, he does not smell great.
Pleasant.
Like, his BO is
Friendly.
quite
He's
pungent.
pissing off the other members
Yeah.
with his
It's
pungent
quite
odor.
pungent.
We've had some complaints. You're going to have to let him know. This is my manager telling me, by the way.
All right, well, then here's our answer.
Considering it should be the manager's job, but whatever. He's like, "Can you let him know?" I'm like, "Well, what kind of person is he? Like, is he?" Yeah, they're like, "He's not one to take insults or like too
Oh,
kindly."
gee, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna
okay,
take
cool.
this real well.
Yeah, team me
he's-
up here.
He's not, yeah, the type to take too well to whatever. And I said, "Cool." I'm like, "Hey, man, my name's Aaron. I'm your coach."
You stink.
He goes, "Cool, nice to meet you." I'm like, "Cool. I'm gonna be straight up. You need to put some deodorant on."
Did
He's
he?
like,
Did you appreciate it?
he appreciated it. He's like, "You know what? Thanks, dude. No stress."
Fair cop.
Yeah. Like,
Honestly,
I
it's
was
best
wrapped
medicine.
because I thought I was gonna be in for a fight there.
Yeah, well, that worked well.
He's got one fist cocked, another on the
Yeah,
deodorant can. Like,
Thank
whatever
God.
happens here.
Thank God.
So yeah, I would be more than happy to just go to the dude and give him the deodorant can.
But
and
I
be
just,
like, "Bro, you
I
stink."
often wonder, like, do they know? Because
Yeah.
there's sometimes, like, if you've come from a full day's work and you're drenched in sweat and, like,
Can't
just
smell it.
Well, it was
They
yesterday. We were training, and Chris is like,
Is it me?
"Fuck, I reek."
Yeah, but, like, and when you genuinely work up a good training intensity, you're going to sweat.
Yeah.
So it's like, versus those, those guys, like, the minute they walk in the door, they've been started training, you know they stink. It's
I think
like,
there's a difference between like when they come in and they instantly stink already.
Yes,
Versus
exactly.
like they've put deodorant on, but they've gone through a hard session.
Yeah, different. And I feel like that the stink when they first walk in, usually it's their clothes. And
Yeah.
It's like it's either really old t-shirts.
It sounds
or
like they've just smells like they just left them in the fucking washing
Yeah.
machine
Yeah,
for a week and
yeah,
then
yeah,
decided
they
to chuck
haven't
it on.
washed the t-shirt
It's dried in the
properly.
washing machine.
yeah, that with not showering for 3 days.
Yeah, like whatever, or the combination of.
Or the combination, yeah.
Or it's trend sweats, and you know that's you know someone's on.
Still,
trend.
I wouldn't say anything. I'm too
Yeah,
nice. I would
in
just,
that regard, still
I would
the
just
same.
walk off down to the other end of the gym and just see
like
something else.
you know when someone's on trend, you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, I know what you're on. Like I get it, I get it. So you guys basically won't. You're too nice.
I'm
What are you
saying
gonna
nothing
do?
now.
No, I'm probably gonna either hand them a bottle of deodorant or just be like, bro, what are you doing? You
Yeah.
stink.
Fair.
Like especially if it's like in singlets and stuff, especially during COVID now. Like if you're like, sitting on benches or something, and
Personal
I have to get on
hygiene.
that after you. Come on, man.
Yep, totally fair. Who's got the biggest arms? Chris.
Chrissy definitely does.
That's pretty easy. Oh, that's a crap one. 3 best and worst things about Melbourne for Ben.
There you go.
I mean, you've only been here for like
3
24
best-
hours.
Yeah,
Actually, I got a question for you. If
You didn't put it in the question.
I was
Q&A.
staying here, would you consider moving down here?
Ooh.
Do you like it that much?
Controversial.
Controversial.
He's like, nah, fuck you.
No, like it's conducive to everything I would do, and there's no reason why I couldn't. It'd be more so like the
He'd move for a Kami and one
expensive-
gym.
Did you move for a coming one?
Coming one gym, yeah.
If Mike said he'll call you Big Dog as well.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm on the
If he
flight
gets you-
tomorrow.
I'm on the flight down.
If
Yeah.
he gets you a
I'm
t-shirt,
driving down
OG,
tomorrow.
and then this, the training singlets on the back, Big Dog.
Yeah, that's all that is. If he makes that, I'm on my way. But no, yeah, like I inevitably want to get to a point where I'm living, like I can live in different places and like experience different places. So, like all I've ever done, like I've been up and down the east coast of Queensland, Sunny Coast, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Ipswich, like been all around there. So, for me, I want to get to places where I can check out Bali, check out Melbourne, check out America, like do that shit. So, yeah, having environments that are conducive to training still, and I can run business from.
Yeah, Bali.
Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah, Bali, Thailand.
Nice.
He
We'll
knows.
do a whole
He
prep
knows.
over there.
He knows.
We'll do a whole prep over there.
Yep, nope, totally fair.
Well, when we do our international prep, we could do it in Bali or Thailand or something.
Or
We
as if-
literally-
as
literally
if-
could.
Well, as if you wouldn't.
Or the
It'd
final,
It'd be cheaper.
the final 10 weeks.
Yeah,
Final
yeah.
12
But-
weeks.
but the full
We
prep.
get a
It'd be
villa.
cheaper to go
Yeah,
there.
probably would be. Yeah, to be honest, it probably would be.
Go there
Yeah.
for like 24 weeks. Are you
Yeah.
serious? Done. It's like I thought you prepped for 16. It is. I just needed an
Yeah, we
extra
just
8
wanna go
weeks.
to
I need a good gaining face.
Yeah. And you go to Thailand for 24 weeks.
Did you answer that though? Top three?
Top three.
For our sake, I
Oh yeah, true. Before
Before you hijack the question. Top three so far, probably that I've had nice weather, which doesn't seem to be a common occurrence in Melbourne.
Not fair.
It's interesting. The training has been good, and the food.
beautiful.
Cool. But what's
We didn't make the list.
The training with you too, you fucks.
That's also the worst thing. So
Yeah, so like
That's the worst
yeah,
things.
you've really teed yourself up here.
Chris is number 1. Aaron's
Chris,
number 2.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, worst thing, I feel like it was raining when you wanted to go to Walker's Donuts. That's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah,
up there.
that's gotta be
that's
yeah.
number 3.
That's number 3. So whilst the weather was good when we're training, the weather was bad when I wanted food. So that really ticked me
Give a
off.
little, take a little.
Yeah, exactly. Beggars can't be choosers. I haven't really done much else to say like bad. The driving is fucking weird here to me. I just don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it. I just want to punch everyone already.
Bro,
Been
what
for
I
a
hate
day.
down here in Queensland, if you someone like starts beeping the horn behind you, you'll get out and get punched. Here,
Yeah.
it's like just a normal thing people
Yeah,
do.
I literally said to him like, this is borderline like an Australian version of Bali.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you don't do that. Like in Queensland, like you think someone's either about to get out and fight you or you're about to fight them.
Bro, here it's like polite to beep.
yeah, it's
You
like
know?
thanks for letting me
They
know.
do it
It's
that
how
much.
courteous
It's like,
of you.
It depends, because I'll get out and punch a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I have no problem. Like I was saying in the car, like we were driving.
Scafi's on trend.
Yeah, well, not even. We were driving here, and like you could just see the people like in the next lane, like you could just see it happening, like someone nearly hitting someone. You're like, man, people cannot drive.
I've
here.
never seen so many near collisions. But it's just like free flowing traffic.
Yeah, it's like China.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like this dude we're on the way to one gym, and this guy's nose is so far out, you think he's trying to rip a line, and I'm just like, man, what are you doing? Like just stay in. Like you can stay in for a minute and then come out.
Yeah,
No,
like,
dog.
There's no cars
Nope.
behind me for him. But anyway, any other medications apart from modafinil that work better? So I'm assuming any other
Adderall.
stimulants.
Adderall.
I don't know if it works better than
Oh,
modafinil.
well, I'm just
though.
thinking along that.
Yeah,
like,
Are we,
it's all
talking, are we
line.
talking like the cognitive focus level?
I imagine that's what it's meaning. Yeah.
Like I used Adderall for a study session, and mate gave me some. It was fucking phenomenal.
Over Modav? Like it was more. Did you find it more pungent?
There's different
More pungent?
feelings. Different feelings.
Yeah,
like
that I agree with.
like Adderall, I was fixated focused, but I'm also like 90% certain mum just refused to get me diagnosed for ADD, so I think it
Yeah.
also helped.
Yeah, fair.
Whereas like,
It's like I feel better.
yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Now I know what productivity feels like.
Yeah.
Like, but modafinil.
I feel like it's more consistent.
Yeah, it's just it's
For me, it's not so much.
it's Limitless. It's the drug from Limitless.
Yeah,
the
it's
movie.
like for me, it's not using something else that's better than modafinil. I like pairing modafinil if
Yes.
I need the extra.
Yeah.
Having it with some caffeine or some.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Like
Three best things during a
Big
prep
fan.
if you're really hungry is chewing
Don't say nicotine.
5 minutes of
Nicotine
nicotine gum, 30 to 50 milligrams of caffeine, then a nice half dose of modafinil.
Yeah.
Don't do this this is not medical advice. We have to preamble that.
Oh
but
yeah, always.
This is not medical advice. This is what I've done in the
This
past.
is for entertainment purposes only.
yeah, it was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining.
We have to say it at
But
some point.
you will not. Yeah, I let's just say hunger subsided for a good part of that day, and focus was next level.
Yep, no, totally fair. I did have a.
I also developed an eating disorder from that, so
Nice.
don't do it.
a fuck.
Should be more mindful about it.
Have we got a fuck, marry, kill? Is that
We
what
do
you-
have a fuck, marry, kill. What do we got?
I was gonna say we had a couple serious questions. So
We should hit old Dave over here with the fuck, marry, kill out of us three.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Just like turn the camera towards him.
Or you can all get fucked.
This is what the casting couch is for.
So fuck, marry, kill the Hulk, Thanos, and the Thing.
I'm killing the Thing.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be the easiest one to kill out of that group.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to...
I'm not gonna marry the Hulk because he's just gonna smash the place all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
You'd
Yeah.
have better conversations with Thanos.
Bro, actually,
He's an
like,
intelligent
to a
person.
degree. Like I can't see that much
Passionate
wrong
man.
with what Thanos did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, look, yes, he wiped out half the world's population, but he didn't pick and choose.
But
Yeah,
let's be real.
It could have been him as well.
Even
You know?
dictator.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends also
a
on
fair
which,
ruler.
which Hulk. Are we having like the Hulk where he's
Yeah,
like still
you don't
cognitive?
want like Professor Hulk.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Do you want
we're
aggressive
talking
Hulk?
OG. We're
Yeah,
talking
that's what I'm
OG
saying.
Hulk.
Yeah, if we're
Gotta
going to
go
go
old school angry
OG...
Hulk.
We're not talking about it when he's like eating the little burritos
Yeah.
and he's like
Getting photos.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the meme where it's like this isn't Hulk and it shows Hulk during like Infinity War and he's like trying to go back in time. It shows like the original Hulk from like Eric Banner.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, that's Hulk.
That's Hulk,
The shit
yeah.
they've made now, it's the most boring, bland version of Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
No.
crazy motherfucker, and
yeah.
he's smashing your apartment to bits
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So fuck Hulk, he's getting killed.
Right, I think we're all
I
in
feel like you get to have
agreement
some
there.
nice philosophical conversation with Thanos. Like you can have some
That's what I'm
deep
saying.
chats.
He'd make...
He's a deep. I like him as a bad guy because he's deep. There's more to him than
he's
just I
complex.
want to conquer the
Yeah,
world.
He's not wrong. He wasn't. His choice wasn't that he wanted to just conquer the world and like be a dick. He was like, this makes logical sense. I
He's
need to
worried
get
about the
rid of
universe's
half population.
resources.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see it.
No, that's fair. Who's
I was
got...
about to make it like I mean, Hitler wasn't rotten. Let's not do that.
Let's not go there.
Cancel culture.
Who's got the better fade, myself or Ben? Chris can answer this.
Fade. I can't see Ben's hair.
So I win by default.
That's fair. It's pretty fresh.
Standard, I win by default.
It's pretty fresh.
I can't answer that. I don't really know. Like,
Chris
what do
has
you
been-
what do you classify as better fade?
I don't know.
It's just a question. I can't give you more context. It's just a question.
I feel like they both look good.
Okay.
Like, unless
is too
they.
nice.
Yeah, it's too nice.
It's too nice.
I'll sweetheart over here.
Dave over there is just like, fucking kill them all.
I mean, that's just a reflection of your barber, right? Like, not a reflection of you. So who's got the
Yeah.
better barber? I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go.
That's a fair
Answer
question.
that question. I guess that's the question. Who's got the better
Yep.
barber?
So we're pinning two businesses against each other.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to earn the vote?
We're going to tag
Yeah.
them and tag them on YouTube.
Yep. You're going to get tagged in this. You better defend your position.
Honest opinion of Ben's mustache.
Ben's mustache.
Bring it, bitches.
I mean, I've seen him without it. I don't mind the facial hair going on here. The 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
I'm not sure on the mustache. I think I've seen it so often now it's
that's
normal.
fair. Yeah.
Like,
See, people know my opinion on mustaches if they're trying to be the next C-Bum, but I feel like Ben had it. Like, he's not trying to be the next C-Bum.
Yeah.
no, he's just
It's
making-
his own-
It's his
it's his own
It's
thing.
the Ben mustache.
I'm not much of a sweetheart, so
Yeah.
I'm
You know?
not trying to be.
It's the
Well,
natural
because
athletic mustache.
ever since I've known you, you've had the mustache.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you look
I
like
feel
without
like
the
I
mustache.
downgrade about 5 years of age the second I get rid of it, and I
Yeah.
just become a 21-year-old.
I feel like picturing you without it now would just be weird.
It's weird, right? Yeah.
I can't imagine you without it.
Someone asked me, like, I think it was during Movember. They're like, oh, like, what are you donating for? I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing Movember for? I was like,
I'm not.
right. I'm like, I'll donate to, like, because she had like a little charity box. I'm like, yeah, there's like, I'll put some money there, but
Fuck the people.
like it.
It's like Scafi. I've known him for like 3 or 4 years, and he's had a beard the entire time I've
yeah.
known him.
So it was gone. You just be like,
So-
what the fuck? Because I've done beards before, and it didn't grow in thick enough or properly. Like, I didn't know much about like combing it and straightening it out because it just went like Jew curls.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, this is fun.
I like it.
It's easy.
I like the
easy
stash.
to maintain.
But I'd also like to see without the stash, so then I can make a decision if I
That's
see you
fair.
without it.
I think at bare minimum, I would just never have a clean shaven ever again. I think I just have
Yeah,
to
you,
have. Like,
I don't feel like you can.
no.
You're just a bitch if you're clean shaven.
Yeah, for me, it's like a bare minimum, like level 1 electric trimmer.
Are you going to keep the beard for comp?
Yep.
Yep.
No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. I'll trim it up a
Just
bit,
tighten
and
it
I
up.
might
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
nice
clean it.
fade.
Yeah,
But like,
line it
I'm
up,
I'm not going to get rid of it all. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go like completely.
Yeah, because when I first met you, you
face
didn't have a
sucking
beard.
it. Yeah.
There's a little rugged look to it.
Baby
Yeah, I
face,
like it.
Babyface Chris.
Babyface. Yeah. I was also young too, so.
Yeah. Aggressive cut before going into slow building phase, or do both slowly?
Nah, I don't like doing this. Like,
Depends on how fat the person is, I suppose.
Yeah.
So if they've got a lot of weight to lose, then there's nothing wrong with going too aggressive because you're not going to risk any, muscle protein breakdown because you're still going to be able to hold onto the tissue. But if you're still relatively lean, how aggressive do you really need to go to drop a couple kilos?
Well, that, and I guess...
But if they're also, if they're already relatively lean, why are they going into a cut?
Yeah, well, I guess you work on the timeline of the client or the person's goal, and then also what they can handle. If they can handle an aggressive cut, because imagine I'm going to give you an aggressive cut, and then they're just like, nah, fuck.
I
this, I'm not
don't
doing
like people that just do like 1-to-1 ratio. Like, how much are you really building if you're spending the same adequate time of a year in a cut? Really,
Yeah.
I like the idea of like a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, where like you can get in for like a 4-week cut, go hard, then push like 2, 3, 4 months of growing before you have to pull another one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I like that idea because
You shouldn't be growing. You shouldn't be like your surplus shouldn't be that aggressive that you're getting that fat that you need
That
them on.
fast,
exactly
yeah.
That quick. That
exactly.
kind of basis.
But then also like you just don't need it. Like
Yeah.
I just think if you can get
it's
in,
wasted time. Too,
yeah,
you
like
know?
and to need to cut at the same amount of time that you've been bulking, like really how much mass have you put on? If you have to cut that hard for that long after doing a growth phase, have you really put on that much mass anyway? Like,
Usually what happens is it's like I feel like it's not that they've put on all this mass. It's like they may have just gotten fat.
Yes,
Like as in
yeah.
like they come out of their cutting phase and they just started fucking eating because they couldn't control themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because anyone that's gone through like a progressive calorie surplus or gaining phase knows it's not all fucking sunshine and daisies. It's,
No.
It takes time to progress it up and
Yeah.
then you have to stay up there.
Yeah.
But you're not that fat when you're up there. It's just
No.
like if you go from like, a really small amount of calories to a big surplus and you're eating fucking Maccas and KFC every day
Yeah,
and
you
then
feel
you're
like
just
shit.
looking at an excuse to kind of trim up because you feel like
Yeah.
you're a fat fuck,
yeah,
then it's a bit of a different situation because that is an eating disorder.
yes, yes, it is.
So yeah, see what we did there? Refer everything back because science. What do we got? PEDs for women outside of VAR and Winstrol, example NPP. Yay or nay?
No, Anavar's a bikini chick drug. It's the only reason you use it.
Anyone? No? Just me?
You want to start?
I mean, I can.
Anything that doesn't viralize, ideally, to start with.
Yeah,
as a
so
base.
it has the least amount of virilization would be something like an MPP. The other thing that a lot of research was done was obviously Primobolan, had a very low virilization rate, and they gave them, but the problem was, or not the problem, they gave them to females that were, I think they were recovery patients from, was it fire?
Yeah, it was burn victims.
It was burn victims, but the female victims were, they were for burn victims. So because they had such damage already done, we don't know if the dosages that they'd given them, if they weren't burn victims, would they have virilized, right? So we need to always play it safe when we're looking at females and PED usage, especially anabolic usage. In saying that, I wouldn't necessarily use anabolics for females.
Yeah, the thing is, there's so many other pathways
we can
without
hit.
having to go down that route.
Exactly, and we can start. The beauty of like female physiology is using things like a SARM, where guys don't utilize SARMs very well at all. We get basically none of their benefits and we get all their side effects.
Side effects, yeah.
However, females get all their benefits and none of their side effects because, again, the way that they work is being on the androgen receptor, and females' androgen receptors are a little different to ours. So,
Are you
That's
saying,
what I
are you
would
saying
do.
we're not all equal?
sure. I'm not getting into.
Wait, you mean there's biological differences?
I'm not getting into that conversation. I'm like he,
Come
him,
on, let me
she.
trick you with something.
He, him, she, her, them, they, LBGTV, ABC.
Onomatopoeia.
Unless you're like want to be a women's physique athlete
Yeah.
or pushing up into like a figure,
Yeah.
why are you using that?
Yeah.
You know?
Or if you're not wanting, or if you're not caring about the side effects, which is the
Yeah.
other thing to it, right?
Yeah,
It's like
that-
some girls like,
including the client in that decision process.
yeah,
as
like
well,
some
if they're willing to do that.
Yes, imagine a female client just going like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Give me everything.
I'll grow an Adam's apple for all I care.
Yeah, it's like okay, if that's what we want to do. Lost a bit of motivation after getting COVID. Had to stop my rad cycle because of it.
There's a guy.
I assume so.
Okay.
Now not knowing how to start.
Don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't use a SARM being rad. Is it rad 194? Is that right?
I think Rad 140.
Oh, 140. Yeah, that's it. Rad is 140. Yeah, I wouldn't use that. To,
I
What
wouldn't
is
use.
Rad
I wouldn't
supposed
use
to
a
do?
SARM with a dude. Period.
Yeah.
yeah, it's supposed to just increase testosterone.
I'm sick of seeing it. Like,
It's supposed
so
to,
many
yeah.
people want to add so many extra steps to slavery instead of just going like, I'm just going to take anabolics. Like,
Yeah.
what little nuance I can do to try and get myself enhanced without being enhanced. It's like the slim benefits you get from a SARM as a bloke versus the risks that come with it, and then you're going to have to spend ample more money than you would if you just got anabolics anyway.
Yeah. The other side to it is people don't want to pin.
Yes,
But the thing is too, like this is what comes out to me is like a lot of the, SARMs, they're research chemicals.
Yes.
Like they're research chemicals for a reason.
Yes.
Like, some of them failed carcinogenicity
Yeah.
trials.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
potentially cause cancer in the mice that they had them.
Yep.
So why
There's
would you want to
one-
use something that even has the potential to do that?
Yes.
I think that was, what was it, LGD.
S23.
And
Yeah.
it was like literally it failed every possible test of a carcinogen. That was just like,
Carterine.
if you take
Yeah,
this,
no, it was Carterine. Yeah.
if
Carterine.
you take this, then you'll be like, you will shut down in 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And I
Yeah.
heard of people taking it because like, oh no, I gained 20 kilos. Like, cool, you're gonna gain 20 kilos, then die.
What
Yeah.
about the next 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good trade off, bro.
Nice.
Well done. And then to find out like they're only going to festivals or shit anyway. It's just like, huh?
Nice.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah,
sweet,
and
bro.
Rad 140 don't.
Yeah.
SARMs in general, if you're a male, don't.
Just
Yes.
get some, just like, if motivation is your concern, figure out why you want to train in the first place. Start
Yeah.
understanding what your goal is really at a deeper level than just being like, I just really want to take this SARM and go to the gym and look like a mag cunt. Everyone's gonna think you're a fuckwit anyway. Figure out why you want to start training again. Understand at a deeper level what it is you're trying to achieve. Align it with who you are as a person. Then you're going to develop a more intrinsic motivation to train anyway. It's going to feel less like you have to do a drug to do it, and just actually want to train.
Even just starting on like a good actual training program and
Yeah.
progressing your training.
what you
like
can do
It's so
naturally.
motivating. Like once you get into week 3 of a training block and you've actually started to make some progression, like you
Yeah.
don't want to stop training.
No.
So I think just have a good fundamental training block. Start with a good amount of volume, whatever split you want to start on. Get in there, track your lifts, progress those same lifts for for 4 to 8 weeks, and see where you go. The motivation will pick up as you go along.
Completely and utterly concur. Does Ben train calves? And if so, why aren't they very big?
Savage.
Is that just your question?
No. I will. I mean,
Scafi's writing all this about me.
I mean, I could ask that, but I'd have the same problem. So
It's rough.
it'd be
It's
like,
rough.
they'd be like,
Sadly, these are growing. If you look back at my photos from like 2019, skinny boy. These are putting some size on.
yeah. I mean, I haven't got much to say. I haven't got calves, so Chris is the only
I mean,
one out of all of us that has calves.
yeah, like to a degree, part of it is
Don't
genetics.
ask me how I grew my calves because I train calves once every 2 months.
I operate them in like varying rep ranges. We vary them in lengths and weights and intensity. So I do everything that you do to train them. So I mean, they're responding slightly. There's some indication of a slab
Some
there
sort of
now.
growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be a tumor, but we'll
I
get it
feel like
checked out.
calves are just one of those muscle groups that if you're not genetically gifted, they just take so long to grow because
Yeah.
you're walking on them all day as well. Like,
Yeah, their load bearing stimulus is just so high. Like their adaptation to that stimulus is just so high.
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
they just take time. To
no
build.
one in my family has large as calves, so it's not like
And everyone in my family has large
It's
calves.
not- it's
My
not
mum's
like
calves are like,
Loose skin from weight loss. What can be done and how to deal with it? And does it impact on competition?
it definitely will impact on your competition
Yeah.
look. It depends on the severity of the loose skin, but any sort of loose skin, I suppose that's actually a genetic component to bodybuilding that's not often touched on, is like the actual quality of the skin as
Yeah.
well is something that's really important, because if you've got loose skin and it doesn't look really tight, you don't
Doesn't have that
look as
elasticity
lean.
to it? Yeah.
Yeah, like and even having the elasticity to able to go up to higher body fats.
Yeah.
And then when you diet down, not actually have the loose skin there.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
for myself, like I've gone really fat before. Well, not really fat, but I've pushed the weight before. But even when I diet down, my skin's very elastic and
Yeah,
it
same.
comes back down again. So what can be done about it? I mean, yeah, I'm not too sure if there's not much you can do about it. I mean, maybe a little bit of bio oil and things like that, maybe to reverse some of the stretch marks, or maybe,
But even with the loose, like if we're talking like a larger size and you have looser skin, even if you were to get like the resulting surgeries, you're still going to have that scarring issues in your skin for competing anyway.
Because there's like hyperplasia of those fat cells as
Yeah.
well. Like, it doesn't really go away to a certain degree.
No.
You know?
It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's going to play.
Be good if muscle were good hyperplasia.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's just it unfortunately will have a degree of consequence to competing. It's not to say you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just it's going to affect to a degree where you place versus someone who, and like it sounds very picky, but someone who has nice tight skin, a good tight taper, everything just looks nice, skin's clean.
Well, who would have thought looking the part in a
Yeah.
You know what I
competition
wonder?
where you're judged on how you look?
Maybe-
yeah, unfortunately.
I think logically, what I would do if I did have that issue, like, one, I wouldn't get as fat in the off season for
Of course,
starters.
makes sense.
But secondly, I would probably try and stay at a relatively lean body composition for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, I would diet down to maybe 5 to 7 kilos above stage weight and stay there,
Yeah.
and just see if over time that you can potentially get some more
Yeah.
elasticity to the skin.
Yeah.
I mean, like, compound wise, I don't really think there's going to be too much that's going to be able to
No,
impact that.
not that I can think of in my head anyway.
I mean, maybe growth with skin health, but that's probably
I don't think that's going to tighten.
it's not going to tighten
No.
skin.
Yeah,
you know, you
or-
need Ronnie Coleman's cream,
Yeah.
his toning cream.
His toning cream, 100%. Get the ATP products. Whatever that cream was for.
Oh yeah, there's subcut,
Yeah, it was. That was. Yeah.
subcut prototype 8.
That's it for questions on my end. We had quite a few. Been going for about an hour and a half.
I didn't ask any questions.
I didn't ask any questions of all of you.
I know you guys never ask questions. I
No,
always have
It
to
was
do
a very
everything.
spontaneous question.
Well,
box.
we know that we've had this podcast happening for a while.
I can
Realistically-
I can only think an hour or two ahead at this.
Realistically, we knew I was coming down like we had this planned out like a week ago.
Again, this is what I deal with, people.
We had this planned out for you
this
coming
is
down,
what I
like,
fucking
months
deal with.
ago.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
we knew I was coming down months ago. The actual plan didn't take place until 2 days beforehand. I'm not going to say what I did, but the ways in which that I was like to get in to make sure I could come into the state, I literally figured that out like 2 days ago. So,
Well,
yeah.
that's fair. I mean, they do change everything every 2 seconds, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure there's going to be rule changes while I'm still here.
Yeah.
So far I can go back to Queensland
Hopefully, it'll
Monday.
be positive rule changes. I'll just let everything go.
Oh, we did that. We did that hard. Like, I think we clocked 20,000 cases or something now. So, like, everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna get it when you come down to Melbourne." I'm like, "Look, you're gonna get it up there anyway."
I love how people just like assume that they're not going to get it. Like,
Yeah.
every single person in this country at some
it's
stage
now
is
just
going
going to
to get
happen.
it.
Yeah.
It's now just going to happen. Like, the second they were just like, "Cool, let's have festivals again." It's like, "All right, cool." That's not only is that going to share chlamydia, you're not going to get COVID.
Not worried about chlamydia.
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah. Chlamydia's fine. You treat that. COVID, you've got it. It's in your cells now.
Anyway. Ending on the note of chlamydia.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, this would be fun to see on YouTube. So, for those that are listening on the audio app, when this comes out, this will be on YouTube as well.
Maybe
So-
this will actually drive people towards the YouTube channel.
Jump on. Well,
There's
again,
a cool backdrop here.
We,
the cool
we also
environment.
recorded a training session today, which will
we
be
did,
coming to
which
YouTube
we'll
as
have
well.
edited and thrown up on YouTube, which will be fun. And we'll put some teaser clips on the Instagram.
So you motherfuckers better subscribe to the
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
we should probably start using the new Instagram page
New
at some
Instagram
point.
page, yeah, they'll be up there.
Yeah.
I actually opened it today. We don't have a single post on there yet.
No,
I was thinking-
we've told you this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Oh,
we were
no.
talking about, we were saying like we should do something where we just rotate through who's on it for a day and like just make up stories or use it stories or talk to people or something like that.
We
Just
could
like
do that.
3 different aspects. To
Maybe
like,
once it gets to, I suppose we actually need to use it to.
Yeah, he's about to say when
Yeah,
it gets
yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks
there's
to
only one.
Instagram.
There's only way to make
You have
it
to use it
bigger.
to
We
make
have
So
it
use it, yes.
subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the Instagram page. If you
Yes.
follow the Instagram page, actually, once we get to 100 followers on the Instagram page, then we'll start doing stories on the Instagram page.
this guy's making
He's
the-
leveraging it.
Yeah, hold on, not mad.
Leveraging.
He has potential in
Yeah.
business. I like it.
Well done.
I got to think post bodybuilding. Now, right?
yeah,
exactly.
He's
Exactly right.
already on it.
He's got to set up his green teas and his booty shots for post competing.
Don't laugh now. I'm going to be going full lifestyle.
Yeah, he's
Good, I like
he's
it.
Monkey shit coffee.
I want to hear about like how you're going to do medical cleansing and you're going to do medium work.
We're going to do.
Chris the medical medium.
We're going to do catheters.
Yep.
I'll be collecting urine. So.
And doing nothing with them.
Just bathing in it.
He's just got them lined up on his windowsill.
We actually just figured out what to do with the skin. Just
It's
bathing
good for the
urine.
skin. It is
It's really good, yeah.
That's how you can increase the elasticity.
I mean, he's going to create a cream.
Don't do that.
There's one cream that's high in zinc that can help.
We got one episode about talking about ejaculation.
My favorite thing is the bro chat where it's like Fuad's just so hard now and like, can we just get
One
one episode?
episode.
where we
He's
talk
really
about
trying
poo?
to like. He's really trying to like make it like a real professional thing,
Yeah.
and then it's
Yeah.
just like straight back to poop.
Yeah, that's poop. Oh,
Well,
fuck.
let's leave it there, I reckon.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Sound good? As always, to the listeners, thank you for tuning in, or hopefully watching
Hopefully
on
watching.
YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, all of it. The
Thanks
Instagram
to, thanks
page.
to Davey for letting us do it here.
Yeah, big
I
thanks.
was going to get to that. I was saying the Bros with
Yeah,
Brains
but you were doing it all,
page.
so I was like chiming in and contributing.
But do it after I've said it.
Alright.
We have
Whatever.
Joe
Bros,
doesn't like being talked over.
yeah,
Well,
I'm Guy. He's Fuad.
the Bros with Brains page, so bros_with_brains. Jump on that, follow, and now, Ben, you can go. Is that what you want to say?
Ben, closing statements.
Closing statements?
Closing statements. Thanks for having me. Thanks for bringing me down to your state. And
Well, you brought yourself down.
Well, I
but
brought
thanks
myself
for
down,
coming.
Thanks to the plane
Yeah.
that brought you down.
Thanks to the plane that brought me
Plane
down.
that brought you down.
I should have clapped the plane. Oh, fuck, I hate people that clap planes. Kill yourself. But yeah, no, it's been good. I appreciate the hospitality and the training sessions.
We'll get another session tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah,
yeah,
so no, yeah, well, it's a Monday night, so
Legs
I use Monday off. Or
Monday's
Yeah,
rest.
Monday's off.
Monday's
Oh,
rest.
Monday's
yeah.
rest. Oh,
Yeah,
you
tomorrow,
guys.
tomorrow be
Working
hamstrings.
back into the week.
Well, I work on Mondays, so.
Yeah,
Might be able to get
check-ins Monday.
might be able to get some travel and see what's around the place. And
Yeah.
there you go. All right, cool, sweet.
One place. Where are you going to go before you leave? One travel place. On Monday before.
I have no idea.
I reckon you'll just travel straight to the airport and go. You're
Yeah,
not
the
going.
flight's
there.
not till like 6 o'clock.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Like there's beaches and stuff in there. I don't know. Are the beaches any
You're
good?
not going to the beaches, are you?
St Kilda? I don't
I don't
know.
want to go to the beach.
No, I don't. Okay.
I don't know. We'll work it out.
There was an art recommendation on my app when it told me that I could go to Melbourne.
Things to do in
Yeah,
Melbourne.
literally.
I just imagine
Yeah,
you scroll
yeah.
on your feed, looking
Virgin came up with
yeah.
like whilst your trip is here, things you could do.
It
And it
was
was like
taking him to Fitzroy
probably
YMCA.
closed. Cool, I'm not doing much. I'm gonna find more food.
You know, there is a lot of panic rooms around.
Oh yeah, true.
That's just what I call my bedroom.
That's true. It's hard to get out of there, I know.
All I do is panic. A lot of flailing.
Anyway, definitely ending it there because that's way too much.
And we're out.
And we're done.